Hello everyone, how are you doing on this Monday? I hope you're doing well. Welcome to another edition of Chud Watch. Today we're going to be looking at MGTOW individuals. It's the MGTOW episode. I guess Elliot Hulse isn't technically MGTOW, but I think he falls into that category a little bit. He falls into the red pill category. Let's call this the red pill episode. How about that? Hi everyone, I Sushi Bomb. Hello the Meru Sama. Hello Bitterest Buggy, Cotton Candy 903, Clara Eastmont, DJ Reaper 274, Shamrock Star Random Invite, Logarth. Welcome everybody. Hope you're doing well. Not muted at the beginning for once, yeah. That's good. I don't know if anyone saw the debate last night. Woo!
There's nothing funny about the tools of
Are we gonna do the video I linked last Chud stream? Hold on, let me look what it is. I don't even remember. Was it under Chud or was it under? It was probably just under regular Chud. Maybe it was under. I don't know. Send it again. I might have forgotten to save it. The Life of Heart says, "Hi Hannah, I have some Chud clips from Jeremy's now deleted YouTube live stream. How can I send them to you? If you have a link, so you can send them here. If they're like a Google Drive link, I don't know. I don't know if I want to give my email out to anyone." That chat was rough. Yeah, the debate was fine in and of itself for the most part. I only had one moment where I was like, yikes. And I literally said yikes out loud because I thought it was yikes. Chat was terrible, though. I made a whole tweet about it. I'm not going back on modern day debates again. Probably ever, but certainly not unless they change their policy. Because I talked to a mod briefly about it from the channel. For those who don't know, oh, Zoe R. Hamilton, thank you for continuing your subscription, 4-month streak. So the chat was just awful. It was full of just transphobic garbage. I even commented on the video afterward, and one of the mods from the channel, and by the way, some of the transphobic shit was coming from mods of the channel. It wasn't even just randos. And even the mods who were, like, not indulging in the transphobic shit were like, come on, guys, please stop. You know what I mean? And afterwards, one of the mods responded to me and they're like, well, our policy is, yes, we block and ban hate speech, but we don't ban people who are just mean. And they're like, and some of this was on the line. It wasn't on the line. It was straight up transphobic trash. So, like, apparently on that channel, just straight up ad hom attacks on the debaters are fine. Which is a ridiculous policy. So yeah, I'm not going back on there unless they completely revamp their rules and their moderator list. Like, nope, trash. Don't watch modern day debates. It is a hellhole. And to make it even worse, during the stream, like, they're like, we're looking for new mods. We're actually looking for right-wing mods because we have so many left-wing mods. Meanwhile, in the chat, mods are, like, being transphobic as fuck. Like, completely disgusting. Do not watch modern day debates. This is the video you linked? Hold on.
Hey guys.
We'll do this on Friday for Chud Watch. Yeah, I had it on. Wait, is it time to get over Slate? Oh, it's just I put it in the wrong file. That's why I couldn't find it. I'll save that for next Chud Watch because this one's dealing with MGTOW stuff, and that's not MGTOW. That's just general chuddery. Call me Cynthia. Thank you for following. What was the other link? Here you go. The clip was brought to you on by discussing Anita Sarkeesian deep fake in great detail, which Jeremy follows up by discussing his fascination in stepsister porn. What? Okay, I might have to make an exception for this because this just sounds crazy. Jake is going to be on soon. You'd like him to see him not do it after the way you were treated. It'd be nice, but, you know, he's his own person. He can do what he wants. I'm not going to ask him to, you know, boycott. That's his decision. Do you have bearing on your Chud list? I don't.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Daddy Sume with a bit. So bad news, everyone. I had to quit my new job. The hostile work environment created by my coworkers was causing me to have suicidal panic attacks. I have maybe one every few years. I had 3 in the last 2 weeks, having to take my Rescue Xanax each time. Yikes. Sorry to hear that. That sucks. Let me save this. For once, I agree with Pounder because I have no clue if people are as fans are racist. Let me see what this is. This is from Jeremy.
You know what's the absolute
This is from some stream he did, I guess. This was deleted or something. So this is Jeremy clips that I guess were deleted. Let's take a look. I'm going to turn this music off first. And then we'll get into the actual content of this episode, which is going to be MGTOW stuff. But someone sent these.
and you're just so strung out for something perverted, you'll watch something
Is Jeremy drinking again? Didn't he say he was going to stop?
that once you finish, you're disgusted with yourself over. You're like, what have I done? Oh my God.
You know what
you have this existential crisis.
You know what it is now? It's the fucking stepsister porn.
Oh, he's drunk. God damn it, Jeremy, stop getting drunk on stream. Clearly this doesn't work out for you.
That's not for me.
I can't get away from it though. Like, you know they're not brother and sister. But like there'll be a
you
point
jerk off anyway.
You're jerking off, you're like, okay, sweet. I'm done. And then like before you could end the film, they'll be like, I'm telling mom, and you're like, I hate myself. No. Like,
I'm gonna admit that I watch like the stepmom porn, where it's like the hot stepmother and the stepdaughter. You know, that's where I'm at.
But like, you know, I mean, when you watch it, you know, obviously they're not related. But like,
but you're still wanking.
Well, of course. I mean, you know, we're human. I mean, we're jerking off to that.
You know what's the absolute worst? When like you're looking up some porn and you're just so strung out for something perverted, you'll watch something that once you finish, you're disgusted with yourself over. You're like, what have I done? Oh my God.
You know what?
You have this existential crisis.
You know what it is now? It's the fucking stepsister porn.
That's not for me.
I can't get away from it though. Like, you know they're not brother and sister. But like
the clip is just repeating now. Like, why talk about your weird porn habits online? I'm not here to kink shame. Everyone's probably into all sorts of different weird porn, but I'm not going to talk about the porn I'm into on stream, even if I was drunk, right? It just seems like a fruitless endeavor. It just seems like it's not, there's no positive coming out of it. How do you delete someone else's stream? Yikes. Oh God, here's another one.
It's kind of felt like I realized you're married. It's kind of felt like I realized you're a married man, and I now realize that even if I get married, I'll probably never stop watching porn and jerking off now that we're having this conversation.
No.
I used to wait till my girlfriend went to work before I watched porn. You know, and then it's like you treat it like you were a criminal too. It's like
Logarth with 10 bits. I'm not a therapist, doctor, or psychologist, but Jeremy appears to have some issues with addiction. Booze, Twitter, even hate speech can be addictive, yeah. Daddy Sume with a bit. My entire thing is being horny on main, and I'm not going to talk about my kinks live on stream unless the stream is specifically about that. Same. Devious Chillster, 50 bits, no Hannah. Nothing but pure missionary through a hole in double-layered bed sheets, finishing off with a firm handshake before you both go off to your separate beds. Hey, I said I'm not here to kink shame, but like, that's not what the stream's about. Why, well, Jeremy, why just be like, by the way, you know that incest porn? That's some good shit. Who says that? Ugh.
Make sure the car's gone. You're looking out the window.
Lock the door. Lock the door. Put something in front of it in case they burst through the door.
Also, I'm concerned for Jeremy's relationship if his wife legitimately views porn so negatively that she feels that he shouldn't be watching it. Like, what a boomer attitude. Like, I think everyone looks at porn once in a while. Like, what the heck? Is he married to a 60-year-old woman that's like, if you keep looking at the porn and jerking off to it, you're gonna get hairy palms. Very, very strange.
It's up against the door, dude. That was the alarm system.
Yeah.
I'm in here working out, I swear.
Yeah, right. Oh no, I was just about to take the trash out. I put it in front of the door.
You're working out with an erect penis.
Daddy Sume says, "Is that how I became a furry? I didn't stop at the palms."
Yeah.
I'm just really into it.
I'm fucking pumped about being healthy. God damn, I'm fucking turned on.
Hey, you don't leave this room, woman. You go get a piece of it.
There's nothing funny
Yeah.
about the tools of capitalism.
Well, you know, hey, look.
Ask Compu with a bit. Maybe he just has an unhealthy obsession with porn that leaks into other areas of his life. Maybe. I have no idea. The drinking certainly seems to be that, so maybe it's the same with his porn habits.
I've been married for, fuck, what year is it? 2020? So I've been married
A
for
long time.
12 years.
Apollo 8192 would like your tinfoil sub. Yeah, one sec. Let me cross your name off. Apollo 8192, where is the... Why can't I find you in the chat anymore? There you go.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
There you go. There's your tinfoil Tuesday bingo sub.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Years.
That's
Yeah,
long
no.
as some people have been alive.
That's a fact.
Did it go through? I didn't see a notification for it. Did he get it? Oh, yeah. It came through in the chat. Okay.
The reality is, my wife is happy. Like, she's like, oh, I know she's walked in on me before and she said
Oh,
nothing.
wow.
She's walked in on me before and said nothing, but I know she's
Oh.
there. You know, like,
listen.
I know she
That's
caught
gonna-
me.
It's going to bite you in the ass later, dude. That's
No.
the thing. You're like, she's happy. You give it like 5 more years. You're going to fuck something up. And then
Well-
she's going to be like, Jeremy, all the times I walked into you stroking your fucking cock, this stepbrother porn.
Yeah, right.
I was like, what does this have to do with the dishes?
Yeah, it's gonna come with the divorce proceedings. She's gonna have a fucking itemized list. But like,
Yeah,
she,
you're gone at that point, man.
Yeah, she knows. She's like, oh, okay. Well, he's not gonna be crawling all over me tonight. So, okay.
Okay, so Jeremy's wife thinks he's terrible at sex, confirmed. What is with these old men, like Ben Shapiro and the Quartering, being like, by the way, I'm terrible at sex. My wife hates having it with me, and not realizing that they're telling on themselves. Like, Jeremy, if your wife doesn't like sex with you, it's because you're bad at it.
Okay, you know, go about your business, young man. Now I can just like come to bed tonight and not have you poking me and be like, hey dear, I know you
I'm
gotta
feeling
work.
frisky tonight.
Yeah,
nothing
right,
funny
right.
about the tools of
Oh, did you see
capitalism.
that episode of X-Files?
Ask Compus as they just think women don't like sex in general. That's completely untrue, though. Like, the relationships I've had in my life with women have... How do I put this? Their libidos, on the whole, have generally been higher than mine. Part of that has to do with, like, I'm not a fan of my anatomy, if you know what I'm saying, and that's something I'm going to be working on with, like, bottom surgery. But, like, who are these people who are in relationships with women, and these women are like, oh, sex, what a chore. If the person you're with hates sex that much, and if they're not, like, asexual or something like that, which is completely valid in and of itself, but that's a completely different story. But if your wife is, like, heterosexual, and you're a man, Jeremy, and you're married, and she doesn't want to have sex with you, you're probably really, really bad at it. Jeremy doesn't seem the type to me who would take criticism in the sack very well either. Like, I don't know, like a hand reposition, or like, hey, Jeremy, maybe, you know, don't just pound away, maybe, like, focus on the clit a little bit. He'd be like, no! I'm gonna do what I want!
Pretty
Did
spicy.
you see Robert Pattinson's jaw, baby?
Did you see fucking Robert Pattinson? God, watch this trailer, please.
Yeah, it's kind of felt like I realized you're a married man. and I-
Yikes. Okay, we gotta go through all these now because this is absolutely insane.
Yeah, well, so, you know what my biggest sub gain was? When a guy assaulted me. Like, that was the best. That was the best marketing for the channel when some crazy far leftist assaulted me. So
that was
I mean,
a get out of jail free card to beat somebody up, dude.
Well, I mean, you know, it's how do you say?
Oh, legal litigation and shit.
I can't say anything. Yeah, but
Yeah, exactly.
I could say
I get
hypothetically.
it.
Yeah, I could say hypothetically. If one person has way more to lose than the other one, you don't engage. Let's say
There's
that.
nothing funny about the
lots
tools
of-
of capitalism.
Yeah, that's something I didn't know before.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Ask Compu with a bit. There seems to be an unhealthy amount of people who think when the guy finishes, the girl is satisfied.
About
Yeah.
the tools of capitalism.
Have the straights not figured out communication about each other's sexual turn-ons? At least Jeremy hasn't, I don't think. Devious Chillstro 25 bits. From what I've heard and talked about with guys, they also like to look like a porn star while doing things, so they try all these techniques that just don't work because everyone is different, and then just blame the girl for not liking it. Things be whack, though. Do these people not understand that porn is like... If you see something in porn, there's a good chance what you're seeing being done is being done because it looks good for the camera or because it's like a turn on for some people to look at. That doesn't mean it's pleasurable for the person experiencing it, right? Like, there are certain positions that might look better on camera but might be very uncomfortable to do for an extended period of time. It's a performance, guys. Like, it's they're not just sitting there having sex for fun. They're being paid to do it on camera. I don't get it. Jeremy takes on YouTubers and voice acting.
Dude, Gundam's voice is very sexual in a way that, you know...
I should have been a fucking radio.
Have you noticed that when Jeremy drinks on stream, the, like, tuft of hair he has right here that he normally, like, kind of combs in such a way as to hide the receding hairline, it sort of gets all crazy? That's his tell, I think. When he's drinking, you can tell because of his hair. And I don't even like the term molding, because I don't think it's a fair, like, thing to be like, oh, this person's hairline's receding, so let's make fun of it. Like, okay, people just have, like, male pattern baldness all the time. That's not something I feel it's reasonable to make fun of in any way. Sort of the same as, like, I don't want to make fun of, people's looks, right? But I just find it interesting that his hair gets kind of up like that. Gungan, I think he said Gundam. Is it? It's a, hold on, YouTube.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
MMO addicted with 100 bits, so when he drinks, he turns Super Saiyan. Yeah. Doon, 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 doon. I think they're talking about It's a Gundam, who does, you know, similar stuff to Jeremy, whom I need to save under media chuds. I almost forgot about It's a Gundam.
A DJ instead of doing YouTube.
You can minimum do some voice work. I know you could.
I
know
got
you could.
fired for so many voice jobs, dude, because of like, I don't really have any politics. I think anybody could tell that. Like,
Yeah, you're a wild card. Yeah.
If you're in the stream with Jeremy, I hate to break it to you, you definitely have
There's nothing funny about
politics.
the tools of capitalism.
Thief of Hearts with 2 bits forgot to include this one, which is about Jeremy talking about making an OnlyFans. Oh god. Thank you.
I just laugh at the absurdity of the world. But I pissed off some people who were really into hyper progressives.
Like, there's no such thing as being apolitical. There just isn't. If you're a human being who is an adult functioning in the world, you're not apolitical. If you think you're apolitical, the chances are then your politics are probably just upholding the status quo. That's still political.
Remember No Ma'am?
Yeah, Al Bundy's No Ma'am?
Yikes.
Is that what you're talking about?
No. Macho Ma'am we probably kill.
I'm not political. By the way, I'm gonna make fun of trans people for a second. That's political, dipshit.
We say that still? Can we say the T word?
No. No, you cannot.
Oh, yeah. Macho Man Randy Transvig or whatever.
Woo! Jeremy, this is a good way to get banned from Twitch. Just so you know.
All I did was post a meme showing that this person was a criminal before going crazy at GameStop, and I lost so many voice acting gigs from that.
Good. Fuck you. You can look at someone and say, like, I don't accept their behavior without making fun of the fact that they're trans. You understand that, right? You can be like, wow, that was, like, an overreaction, or I don't agree with how they went about doing this, without being like, ah ha 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 ha, let's make fun of the way this person looks and their identity. You absolute jackasses. Not political, though. I just find it okay to make fun of trans people for being trans, but not political. God, these people are idiots.
Well,
it was crazy.
It's a cult. I mean, voice acting really is a cult. I don't give a fuck because I don't have anything to lose except for fucking 800,000. But like, there are people who shall remain unnamed that went to LA that were probably making, by my cautious estimates, about $2 million a year on YouTube. Moved to LA to say, I want to be a voice actor. Like, bitch, you've transcended voice acting. What the fuck are you doing?
Jeremy, do you not understand that people will do things for motivations other than money? I think that's a foreign concept to Jeremy, since literally everything he's ever done in his career is in the pursuit of more clicks and more ad revenue. I don't think he understands that someone who might be set for life, like they might make enough money in the bank that they could just live off investments and do nothing. They might just want to be a voice actor because it's a passion they have. I don't think Jeremy understands that, and that's very sad.
But then you realize that,
LA's expensive?
Well, LA's expensive, and it's like you all have to be the same ultra progressive cult. People look at me and they think I'm a conservative.
You are. Jeremy, you are. If you're embarrassed by that, I'm sorry. I guess you should change your views then, but you're conservative. If you're sitting here making fun of trans people, making boomer jokes about how your wife doesn't like to have sex with you, you're probably a conservative.
I'm not. I'm really not.
Devious Chillster with 25 bits. The idea that you transcend a type of acting too is also hilariously offensive to me and probably a lot of people, you know.
I'm more
if
like...
you aren't super hyper left, you're fucking conservative in their eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, what? I make fun of trans people and don't like movies that are starring people other than straight white dudes, and I do nothing but make fun of the left? Oh, why does everyone call me a conservative? I wonder why, Jeremy.
And yeah, I was on what was that show? The Kill Stream, I think.
I'm not political. I just go on Nazi podcasts like the Kill Stream. Why do people call me right-wing? I just go on Nazi podcasts. These people are... I don't... Is it stupidity, or are they genuinely this oblivious?
I also have an OnlyFans.
There's nothing funny about the tools of
MMO addicted with 100 bits. In 7 to 10 years, I will likely set myself up so I can literally live for my investments. I'll probably pursue my passions and teach for free, and do small business finance management courses for local communities. I just won't have to keep the corporate rat race anymore and will finally rest. Yeah. Like, but you still have passions that you're doing, and I don't think Jeremy understands that.
Really?
No, but I'm thinking about it.
I have one just because I wanted to reserve the name. I have one. Because I wanted to make sure no one stole my
That's a
name.
smart move. That's
Yeah.
a smart move. But then
Yeah.
people probably subscribe and they're like, I better see Jeremy's butt cheeks. Then
Dude,
you don't deliver and you look like a shithead.
Well, I'll tell you this: if people are willing to pay for feet pics, I'm in. I don't give a shit. Like, I'll monetize my feet.
I'm with Jeremy on that one. If people want to pay me for feet pics on OnlyFans, heck, I'll do it. I don't care. You do whatever you want with pictures of my feet. Let's see. Super chats and Friday night tights.
Well, I mean, yeah, and I'm like, I'm gonna bring you on. I'm not gonna give you any of my super chats either. It's gonna be great. But the
No, that happens all the time. I ain't sweating.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude! I was on Friday night tights. Look, great show. Great.
I don't know what that is. Does that have something to do with wrestling? It sounds like it. Hold on, I gotta... Baja Blast isn't here right now. If anyone's wondering, you know what? That's private. That's no one's business. I'm not gonna say anything.
Great show. Great show. Great show. Great show. And like, they were getting fucking like $400 super chats. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? I've never seen one that big.
Wait, what did he say? I missed it.
The
No, that happens all the time. I ain't sweating.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude! I was on Friday night tights. Look, great show. Great show. Great show. Great show. Great show. And like, they were getting fucking like $400 super chats. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? I've never seen one that big. But it's a great show, and I was happy to be on.
I need to clip that. I've never seen one that big from Jeremy, and start using that as my super chat audio.
Dude, Gunham's voice.
Or my bits audio. I think that'd be pretty funny.
Hey, Jeremy, saw you on Crowder. You did well, man. Hope you're safe over there in Wisconsin. Much love. Appreciate that. Jesus Christ, dude. Thank you. You're always.
Oh, you were on
fucking
Crowder, huh?
everywhere. I was on Crowder on Monday, yeah.
I'm not political. I just went on Steven Crowder's channel.
Oh, that's nice.
We share a lawyer. That's how I ended up getting on the show.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Jeremy and Steven Crowder have the same lawyer. That tracks.
Yeah, me and him both have half Asian Bill Richmond. Hey, Jeremy, saw you on Crowder. You did well, man. Hope you're safe over there in Wisconsin. Much love. Appreciate that. Jesus Christ, dude. Thank you. You're always.
Oh, you were on
fucking
Crowder,
everywhere.
huh?
I was on Crowder on Monday, yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
We share a lawyer. That's how I ended up getting on the show.
Oh, wow.
Ridiculous. What else?
Unknown exists.
I'm like, I'm going to tell you who I'm voting for. Joe Exotic again. Even though
That's
he's in
a solid
prison,
vote.
Joe's got my vote.
Yeah,
You
that's a
can't
solid
turn down
vote.
the Tiger King.
Ooh, excuse me. Yeah, that's a solid vote.
Maybe Jeremy caught the big Rona. Jesus. Anyway. So that's Jeremy's, I guess, deleted stream or something? I don't know. Jeremy should stop getting drunk on stream. It's clearly not working out for him in the long run. He keeps saying weird stuff that makes him look bad. Anyway, let's move on to some of the other stuff we have. Let's see, we have Elliot Hulse, 5 skills for men when stuff hits the fan. I wanted to finish this video by this incel dude about women wanting the spicy time and how they find it bizarre. Tate Speech has a review of Spider-Man 2021. So Spider-Man Far From Home. Or no, wait. Spider-Man 2021, honest review. Does he mean... What does he mean 2021? Oh, he's reviewing the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, but he's reviewing it this year or something? Very strange. We're gonna watch that, though, to see what Tate thinks about Spider-Man. Isn't that the incel guy we found out was the teacher? Indeed it is. FitX Fearless, MGTOW guy. We have MJ Get Right, another MGTOW guy. Sandman, who is the upward inflection MGTOW guy. Terrence Pop. We Hunted the Mammoth, that just has articles on incels and MGTOW individuals. And I don't know. What do you guys think we should do first? Tate is such a G. He got an early release of the game. Tate first. Okay, I agree. We're gonna do Tate first. So Tate, I guess, is gonna do a review of Spider-Man. I don't know why there hasn't been a there's no new Spider-Man movie out to review, but here we are. Oh, that's loud.
Spider-Man's a pussy.
We did it! We did it, everyone! You know that Arrested Development scene where Michael opens the fridge and it's a bag and it says dead pigeon, and he opens it and it's a dead pigeon and he goes, I don't know what I expected. That's how I'm feeling right now. Okay. We can continue.
I cannot remember how this conversation started about superheroes, whatever. And I was talking about how all superhero movies are stupid and it's all bullshit, but the worst of them all is Spider-Man. Spider-Man is a bitch.
Because Spider-Man has feelings like a normal human being? Is that why, Tate?
If you like Spider-Man, you need to seriously reassess your life. He was a dork who got bit by a spider. Now he's super spider dork, and he still can't get laid.
Yes, because he's busy saving people like a good person. And even so, no, in the comics he dates multiple people. He ends up getting married to Mary Jane and having kids. He then sells that to the devil to save his, 97-year-old aunt from dying, but that's a story for another day.
Who's that bitch? Mary Jane Parker, some shit?
Mary Jane Watson. She does become Mary Jane Parker, though, thus showing that Spider-Man successfully gets a fulfilling marriage. Daddy Sume, F one more day. Yeah, very stupid. Peter Parker, that's the dumbest thing Peter Parker's ever done. For those of you who don't know, so at some point in the comics, Spider-Man did, he grew up, you know? Spider-Man does grow up in the comics, although it took decades and decades to do. He ends up marrying Mary Jane, and they have a wonderful marriage. It's not perfect, he's still Spider-Man, and they face struggles because of that, but they're married, right? And she knows he's Spider-Man, and it's great. Character progression. And then, at some point, Peter's aunt, and remember, this isn't like Marissa Tomei Spider-Man Homecoming Aunt May. This is comic book, old, gray, wrinkly, 90-something-year-old Aunt May. She gets some terminal illness, I don't remember exactly what it is, or she was in some accident, and she's gonna die. And I think we all recognize that, as sad as it is, and it's a tragedy, losing people in our lives who are elderly is part of the cycle of life. And we all need to learn to deal with that in our own ways, as sad as it is, and as much of a tragedy as it is, and we all need to take time to mourn. Peter Parker, a married adult, chooses instead to make a deal with Mephisto, literally the devil. There are multiple devils in the Marvel universe, but he's the devil. Mephisto shows up and he's like, I'll save your 90-something-year-old aunt. Of course she's gonna die soon anyway because she's really, really old, but he's like, but you have to give up your marriage. So he makes a deal with the devil to save his 90-something-year-old aunt instead of just, like, learning to mourn in a responsible, like, healthy way. And his marriage is gone. This was a mandate from Marvel because they were like, oh, we don't want Spider-Man to be married anymore. We want Spider-Man to go back to being, you know, bachelor Peter Parker, yada, yada, yada. It was lame. Like, even if you're gonna do that as a mandate, you need to have a better reason for doing it than Aunt May's gonna die. Aunt May's gonna die at some point. That's a really stupid reason for Peter Parker to throw his entire life and future away.
You're Spider-Man. And she still won't have sex with you.
It's not working. You and me.
What? What the fuck is wrong with you? Oh, but I don't want her to know I'm Spider-Man. I want her to still think I'm a fucking nerd. If I was Spider-Man, you think that bitch wouldn't be sucking and
There's
fucking
nothing funny about the tools of
by hook or by
capitalism.
crook? I'll be like, bitch, I'm Spider-Man. Come here.
Are we really shocked that Tate's version of having superpowers with great power comes great responsibility is to say, I have superpowers, I'm gonna use it to get laid? I can't say I'm shocked, but I'm still disappointed.
There's nothing funny
Shylock
about the
with
tools of
100 bits.
capitalism.
I'm pretty sure this guy never thought critically about anything. He looks like a nerd, and that's offensive to his own construction. Of what masculinity is. Daddy Sume with a bit. Effing yikes. Just admitted. R-A-P-E. Yeah.
Let's just say, okay, if by some crazy twist of
The funny thing is, if Tate were in a Spider-Man movie, he'd be the villain. He'd be like, I don't know. He'd be Tate. You don't even have to tweak him that much. He's just Tate. But like, I don't know. He's buying a car on the internet with his fake millions of dollars. And somehow at the same time, lightning strikes his computer as he hits send, and he merges with a Lamborghini that he's ordering online. And he becomes Lamborghini Man! And Spider-Man has to fight Lamborghini Man because he's like using his Lamborghini powers to assault women.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
I'd watch that movie. Daddy Sume with a bit. He wouldn't be a villain. He would just be a D-bag who gets a comic pratfall and gets his comeuppance. True.
fate. Some crazy twist of fate. She goes, no, I don't want to. I'm like, psst. Fuck you talking about no?
Okay, so that would be assault, Tate? That would be assault. Like, if you have Spider-Man powers and you're using them to coerce women or force women into interacting with you, that's not okay. That would make you a supervillain.
I'm a G. Spider-Man. The only thing Spider-Man's doing is sitting at home jerking off. How are you a superhero if you're sitting at home jerking off?
I mean, because he saves people with his superpowers? You know that the definition of superhero has nothing to do with, like, getting laid, right? I know that's the lens through which you view every interaction, but has nothing to do with this topic.
Fucking loser. Spider-Man is a dork. There's nothing admirable about Spider-Man. Didn't he, like, he became Super Spider-Man, and then someone killed his uncle. Some robber killed his uncle.
Yeah, a robber that he let go free because he was being vindictive against the boxing organizer who didn't pay him his full amount.
Is this the right story?
Stay back!
What happened?
There's nothing funny
Carjacker,
about
he's
the
been-
tools of
Kylie and
capitalism.
Derp with a bit. Tate would basically just be Flash Thompson, a-hole petty bully with no supervillain connotations. I guess. Tate has a bunch of money, though. And a lot of the villains in Spider-Man, like, use inventions and stuff, and I feel like he'd fall into that category. He'd be like a D-list Norman Osborn.
Been shot. Look, we just called the paramedics. They're on their way.
Some robber killed his
There's
uncle,
nothing funny
and now
about
he
the tools
decides
of
he wants
capitalism.
Bittermer sank with 10 bits. Tate would be one of the guys that Spider-Man beats up when he's still trying to do the wrestling thing.
to stop crime to get the robber who killed his uncle. Does he even catch that robber ever?
Yes. Did you not watch the movie before you decided to make this video?
I don't know. I'm genuinely asking. Does he catch the robber? I don't know. If you guys know about Spider-Man, tell me.
Why are you making this video if you don't know?
Does he catch him? And what does he do? Put him in jail?
Kills his uncle when he catches the robbers. I don't know, he's a part
Does he
There's nothing
hang the
funny
robber
about the
by
tools
his
of
neck
capitalism.
in the middle of the city with rope? So he and hangs in
Cotton Candy 903 with 10 bits. Gotta wonder that his definition of admirable is, since he seems not to understand the word, you know. Freaking Out 99, Tate acts like Spider-Man never gets laid, but I'm pretty sure he gets with Black Cat several times. He does. Daddy Sume, the most Tate could hope to be would be the equivalent of Captain Boomerang. Right. He dates Mary Jane, Gwen Stacy, Felicia Hardy, which is Black Cat. I'm sure there are more, but like Spider-Man gets in relationships. Thank you to oh, okay, never mind.
to death. No, he takes his ass down the police station to fill in paperwork. What kind of fucking superhero are you?
A good one? Like every superhero except for people like the Punisher tend to like arrest criminals or give them to the police. They don't murder them on the spot.
Killed your uncle.
Yeah.
He's a pussy.
Freaking Out 99. Didn't he briefly date Captain Marvel? Oh, maybe. I don't know. I'm not familiar with that, but it's possible.
Killed Venom's uncle. Venom would fuck the dude up. But
yeah, Venom's a bad guy. At best, Venom is an anti-hero. Venom is a villain most of the time.
No, fucking Spider-Man. Oh, I'm taking him for justice. You're a fucking nerd, bro.
Tate is legit an evil person, and I don't think he has the self-awareness to recognize that, and it's very scary. How many women... And remember, Tate lives somewhere in, like, Eastern Europe because the property prices are lower and he doesn't have as much money as he claims to have. How many women has Tate murdered and hidden the bodies of, and he thinks he's, like, a cool guy? Over, under 5. What do you think? I'm thinking over, but I could be wrong. Women Spider-Man is romanced as a link? Okay, we can take a look. 15 women Spider-Man is romanced. Carol Danvers. So yeah, Captain Marvel. Oh yeah, Silver Sable. Jean DeWolf. Not familiar. Deborah Whitman. Leanne Tang. Kitty Pryde. Oh, Kitty Pryde from the X-Men. Liz Allen. Oh yeah, she was like in the early Spider-Man stuff. Betty Brant, who is the secretary at the Daily Bugle. Carly Cooper. Michelle Gonzalez. Anna Maria Anna Maria Marconi. Oh, from the Marconi crime family, probably. Gwen Stacy, Black Cat, Silk, who is another spider person, Mary Jane Watson. So Tate doesn't even know what he's talking about. Which is usual, but like...
Spider-Man's a nerd. Anyone who likes Spider-Man, by extension, is also a nerd.
Okay. That's fine. Sure, I'm a nerd. You're not wrong.
He was a nerd who got bit by a spider and became a super nerd. And why does he still live with his parents?
And he could beat you up if he were real, Tate. Like, is that why you're mad? Because a nerd, a fictional one at that, could beat you up?
You're a fucking superhero. You're living with your parents. Why? Or his uncle or his grandma or whoever the fuck he's living with. Those old people. Why?
It's his aunt, you idiot. Why are you talking about something you don't even know about? And again, it's funny to me that Tate considers these things to be, like, bad for Spider-Man, when the entire reason Spider-Man became as popular as he did, initially, was because Stan Lee and Steve Ditko wanted to create, like, a character that wasn't like Superman. You already had, like, your Clark Kents and your Bruce Waynes, and they were very put-together adult people without very many personal problems. Of course, this changed over time, but then Marvel came along, and you had characters like the Fantastic Four and Spider-Man, who weren't these heroic people up on a pedestal. They were normal human beings with their own petty human problems, but they also had the responsibility of using their powers for good. That's what drew people to Marvel Comics, was that they were very human and had very human flaws. And Tate's like, psh, I want you to be like Bruce Wayne, like 1940s Bruce Wayne. You just have no problems and you're rich. That's like, that's really boring, Tate. That's so boring. Cotton Candy 903 with a bit. I feel like his only exposure to Spider-Man is the movies. Yeah, I don't even know if Tate can read. Obo-Wan with 100 bits. It's his aunt, and when he turns into Spider-Man, he's 15 or 16, depending on the storyline. Yeah, he does get his own place. He ends up living in, like, apartments and stuff.
None of this makes sense. I'm a superhero, and I don't live with my
Tate, you're not even a halfway decent person, much less a friggin' superhero.
parents. So you're a superhero. Why the fuck you still live with your parents? It doesn't make sense to me. I don't like it. And the whole fucking, yeah, he was a wrestler or something, and then some guy robbed the wrestler, killed his uncle, and then he started crying his eyes out. I'm Spider-Man. I'm Spider-Man.
Yeah, because he has feelings like a human. Are you familiar, Tate, with feelings?
Fucking. I'm not allowed to say that. Can I say that? Can I say that? Tristan said I can't say that. All right.
Did he just use the F slur? Was that an F slur? Feels like that was an F slur.
You're a loser, Spider-Man. You're a loser.
No. Please. There's nothing funny about the tools
MMO
of
Addictive
capitalism.
with 500 bits. Oh gods, I just checked the debate comments. I'm so sorry you were treated that way, Hannah. You're valid. F all those idiots. I'm over it. It's okay. Freaking out 99 with a bit. Is it wrong to want to deck Tate in the face and ruin it? No, I get it. Cotton Candy 903. Does he not understand that teenagers don't live alone? I don't know. He doesn't know how old Spider-Man is. He doesn't know anything about Spider-Man. He doesn't even understand the stuff that's in the movie, much less the comics.
Please don't say that.
What else does Spider-Man do that offends me? There's something else he does that really offends me, and I can't remember what it was. Oh, yeah. That's it. If you're sitting this watching, and you're thinking, okay, Tate is eternally wise.
If that's your thought going into this and you're already halfway through this video and that's how you feel about Tate, I have bad news for you.
He's always correct. Everything Tate says is true. But on this one issue, I disagree because I always kind of liked Spider-Man. Let me ask you something. Look at the actors they have chosen to play Spider-Man.
Let's see. Tobey Maguire, very attractive. Andrew Garfield, a little less attractive, but that's gonna be subjective. But, like, he's an attractive dude. And then, I always forget this guy's name. Why do I always forget his name?
There's nothing funny about the tools of
Tom
capitalism.
Holland. Sorry, Tom Holland. Tom Holland. Also conventionally attractive, although I find it weird saying that because he plays like a 16-year-old. But he's an adult in real life, so I think that's okay.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Daddy Sume, Tom Holland, Bertimer Sank, Tate. Quote, if you get offended, you're weak. Also, Tate. Quote, I'm so offended by this superhero movie from the early 2000s, guys. Have you guys seen Tom Holland do the lip sync battle thing where he sort of does drag? It's glorious. Go check it out.
We're going to show pictures of the last few Spider-Men.
Yeah, they look like Spider-Man. Spider-Man isn't supposed to be this, like, jacked dude. He's not Superman. Spider-Man is, like, athletic and acrobatic. He's not, like, a buff dude. He has super strength, but he's not defined in the same way. He doesn't have, like... He might have, like, abs and stuff. Let's see. Spider-Man in comics, shirtless. Doon, 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 doon. See, like, Spider-Man, like, he's got muscles, but he's not jacked, right? I mean, he's well-defined, but he's not, like, built. What's the word I'm looking for? He doesn't have, like, Clark Kent outward build, but he's very defined. He's got, like, a swimmer bod. Lean? Yeah. He's dex, not strength. True. Yes. Svelte? I don't know what it would be. But my point is, like, he has muscles, but he's not a beefy dude. He's just very well defined. Although also this is going to depend on the comics. Like this one, he looks more broad-shouldered. Here he is in the game, which is another pretty Spider-Man build. You know, you get it.
They're not men. They're barely boys. Look at these.
I mean, in the newer movie, yeah, Spider-Man's like 16. He's not a man, Tate. He's a boy. That's how Spider-Man starts in high school.
Spider-Men.
Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man was also in high school when he started.
At least.
And so was Tobey Maguire, though there's a
nothing funny
time
about
jump
the tools
very
of
shortly after.
capitalism.
Daddy Sume, Tom Holland's The Langoliers is a truly amazing bomb. Oh, Tom Holland, the guy who directed Child's Play and also did the mini-series The Langoliers. The Stephen King, based on the Stephen King story. Had Balky from Perfect Strangers, had Al from Quantum Leap, had quantum meatballs eating the universe.
At least with Batman, they got Christian Bale.
Yeah, because he's Bruce Wayne. He's supposed to be a hyper, like, muscled out dude because he has no superpowers. There's a difference, Tate.
I'm killing you.
Why does Tate make videos about things he knows nothing about? Very strange choice.
But I don't have to save you.
The dork from Twilight. Everything gets ruined in the... Okay, now they're talking about making another one with the dork from Twilight.
Yeah, and?
Everything gets ruined in the end.
Why do you even care, Tate? Just go drive your Lamborghini real fast.
But for the last few Batmans, he was Batman. But look at the dorks they choose to play Spider-Man, because even Hollywood, even the people who are in charge of making the movies know Spider-Man's a bitch.
No, because that's what Spider-Man's build is like. He's not an ultra muscly, like, bodybuilder.
Quickly, let's make a superhero who's actually secretly a little bitch. Find me an actor who looks like a bitch. Oh, this guy, yeah, he's a punk. He can be Spider-Man. It's all garbage. Spider-Man should be erased from the face of the planet. And I've decided the superhero to do it should be... I don't know shit about superheroes.
I'd like to think in this moment, Tate went, oh, why am I making a video about this? I don't know anything about superheroes.
Andrew Tate, me. I want someone out there who can write comics. This is a genuine task. Anyone out there who can design comics, anyone who's good with drawing or whatever. I want a 3 or 4 page comic where Spider-Man meets me. We meet on top of a building. I call him a punk. He tries to throw some web at me. I use my Aikido ninja moves.
There's nothing funny
Tate,
about the tools of capitalism.
calling other people dorks when you're asking for this. Glass houses. You know the phrase. Just saying.
And I destroy Spider-Man. If some
You know Tate loves Frank Miller
There's nothing
comics.
funny
Yeah,
about the
probably.
tools of
I don't think...
capitalism.
Again, I don't know if Tate has ever sat down and really read something for fun in his life. Brittamer sank 20 bits on the topic of superheroes, and I don't know if you already said this. I haven't been to a stream in a few days. How do you hope they handle Black Panther now that Chadwick has passed? I'm hoping that Shuri takes up the mantle. I don't think it would be right to recast him. That's a tough question. I still think it's probably a little too early to talk about that in a respectful way, considering he just passed. I think the Shuri thing's probably a better idea, though, because they did do that in the comics at one point, but I don't really want to get into it right now. In let's say another month, we can maybe talk about that, just because, like, I'm sure his family's still mourning, people who really cared about the characters still mourning.
There's
Like,
nothing
I
funny about the
liked
tools
Black
of
Panther a
capitalism.
lot. And I know it meant so much, especially to so many kids who finally had this big superhero movie where the superhero looked like them, and it's such a tragedy, you know, that he died so soon. It's so sad. I just don't think it's appropriate to talk about it quite yet. Weepy Little Sheepy with 10 bits. Tate speech would be the kind of trash to expect an artist to draw his shit for free. True.
someone creates that to me and emails it to me at the email address below, there'll be a cash prize waiting. And And we're going to get...
Cobrata Tate News at gmail.com. If anyone would like to draw like a stickman comic of this, and then maybe instead of Tate winning, because I don't even think he said like he had to win the fight. Like, he just said Spider-Man tries to shoot webs at him and he tries karate. Well, how's that gonna work? You're gonna get stuck with webs and Spider-Man's gonna beat the crap out of you. Maybe draw Tate a little comic of that, and then send it to his email that he has offered here.
Famous. We're going to put it all over the internet, all over Tate Speech, all over Twitter. It's going to become everywhere. And
Cobra Tate News. Oh.
Spider-Man will be officially destroyed for the rest of humanity. And when people mention Spider-Man, they'll say, no, there is no more Spider-Man. Andrew Tate beat him. Read the comic. We're going to conquer Spider-Man right here, right now, and you're going to help. Fuck Spider-Man.
This is like the saddest. It's just the saddest. Alright. Good luck with that, Tate. And by that I mean just your entire life. Good luck with that.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
He has to know he's a joke at this point. I don't think he does. I think Tate's a narcissist. I don't think he's capable of the kind of self-reflection that would be necessary to recognize that he's hilarious. We hunted the mammoth. They talk about...
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Thank you to... Daddy Sume. I think it's a grift. It has to be. I think it can be both. Tate's definitely a grift. Tate offers, like, programs for men to be like, oh, come, I'll show you how to be rich. Pay me all this money and I'll show you. So that part's a grift. But I think he genuinely believes he is the shit as well. Like, I think he really is. That's his personality. Both can be true.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Logarth with a bit. We can call his superhero persona the human trash or the irrational sulk. The human trash is hilarious. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. The human trash. What shall we read? Let's do this article, I guess. Women lure men into marriage with baked goods. MGTOW Redditors warn. Fellas, watch out. Women will do anything to trap men into marrying them, including baking. I learned this today in the Men Going Their Own Way subreddit. Bronze Raptor says, true story. While dating, my wife used to be into baking, and I would get a ton of baked goods to eat. Once ring went on her finger, suddenly she wasn't interested in baking anymore. Quote, it's too much work. We don't have the space, etc. The wave of excuses continued. It's just a trap, my bro. This poor guy's wife, does she know he's talking about her like this online and acting like their entire marriage is a fraud? JWS755, my ex did the same prior to wedding. The baked goods and blowjobs ended about a year after the honeymoon. So if what you were saying was true, shouldn't have ended like the day after the wedding? Are you sure you didn't just become a complete dick at some point and they stopped wanting to do nice things in return for you because you were a dick? You're just sitting there enjoying an endless stream of pies and cupcakes and freshly baked bread, and the next thing you know, you're stuck in a loveless marriage without even a dinner roll to your name. That's how they get you. Funny. MGTOW people are weird. I'm telling you. Very, very strange. Make the human trash fight the trash man. Danny DeVito from It's Always Sunny.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Cotton Candy 903, or maybe I just like to bake and it takes a lot of time to do. I don't get that. Baking is like you can go buy instant like mix for almost anything. If you want cake, go make a cake. If you want brownies, go make brownies. If you want cookies, go make cookies. Like, it's cool if your significant other does that. Like, Like, Baja's been making brownies a lot, and they're delicious, and I love them, and I love her. But, like, if all of a sudden she's like, I just don't feel like baking anymore. Great, fine. If I want brownies, I'll make brownies then. Like, that's no one's responsibility to make other people baked goods. Daddy Sume with a bit. I make amazing cookies when I get motivated to make them. Make me cookies, Daddy Sume. Box is crap. Fresh apple cake is where it's at. Hey, I don't have the time or care to make something that doesn't come from a box. Apparently Baja makes really, really great,
There's nothing funny about
like,
the tools
apple
of capitalism.
pie that was her, like, grandmother's recipe. And I'm very excited to try it. I think she's gonna make it for Thanksgiving. Daddy Sume, you will get durian cookies. Please don't. Even as a joke. Like, I feel so bad for the male people that had to deal with the durian stuff when someone sent us, like, durian stuff. Durians are disgusting. Have you had durians? It tastes like putting trash in your mouth. I'm not even joking. I don't get it. Okay, let's do Elliot
There's nothing
Hulse.
funny about the tools of
Elliot
capitalism.
Hulse with his 5 skills for men when stuff hits the fan. This is his video about basically apocalypse prepping. So let's see how Elliot is going to survive. Daddy Sume with a bit. I sent some to Jake and
There's
Sarah.
nothing funny about
Not
the
me,
tools of
though. You
capitalism.
monster. MMO addicted with 25 bits. I bet if you went, quote, want to try baking together, maybe you can teach me and I'll bake for you sometimes, end quote, instead of female make me cookies. She'd bake more. Yeah, probably. Funny how that works. Are durians like your version of BoJack's honeydew hatred? Have you... Random guy. Have you smelled a durian or eaten it? I'm not exact. No one likes durian except people who grew up eating it. It's like, you're literally now not allowed to bring it on airplanes and stuff because it smells so bad. It's like called the fart fruit. It smells like... I'm not kidding. Please look this up. Heck, we can do it right now. Real quick before the video. Here's a bonus. Durian trying. 100 people tried durian. The smelliest fruit in the world. It's bad. It's so bad.
Seems pretty harmless right now. I'm not sure what all the hullabaloo is all about.
Ah, is it soft?
I feel like this is how we're gonna die. Like an alien's gonna.
Does it smell?
You smell that?
I can start to smell it.
Oh, no!
It smells like a fart.
It's not bad. It kind of smells like a melon.
Oh, it smells like farts now.
Oh,
Oh my god.
It just smells like wet garbage.
trash.
HHHHH9998 Hannah, I didn't grow up eating it and I love durian. What the heck?
Old eggs, cantaloupe.
It smells like rotting garbage. I'm not being hyperbolic. That's what it smells like to me. Is this like a kind of food where like a small percentage of the population like tastes it differently than from everyone else? Because I don't understand how you can put durian in your mouth and think like, yep, this is good. It's like putting garbage in your mouth.
Oh, passion fruit, old refrigerator.
Oh.
It's like we opened up like a dead chicken or something. This looks like mayonnaise and body parts.
It looks kind of pussy, right? Oh, why'd you have to say that?
So I don't know what part you're supposed to eat.
Ew! I actually don't think that I'm gonna be able to eat this.
So it is a genetic thing. Some people taste it differently. That would explain it. Daddy Sume with a bit. The durian wafers I got smelled like natural gas. They made the people I pranked think they had a gas leak. Yep.
1, 2, 3.
No.
It tastes like a banana and a pineapple.
Melon with the texture of an uncooked egg.
It actually tastes pretty good.
You don't like it? It tastes f***ing terrible. Oh, I just got a weird one. Definitely not worth the work.
It's kind of mean to you when you're trying to eat it.
It does smell good, but then you get like a whiff and it doesn't smell good. And then like parts of it does taste okay, but then you get a bite that's like not okay.
You can wear a nose plug and have
Awful. Anyway, 5 skills for men when stuff hits the fan. This is how to prep, according to Elliot Hulse.
Yo, it's your bro, Yo Elliot here, back with another Q&A. Question from our IG subscribers. Wanted to know, Elliot, what do you think are the 5 most
Do not send me durian stuff, seriously. It's not even for me, because, like, all I'll do is be like, ah ha ha, very funny, and I'll throw it directly in the trash. So first of all, it's a waste of food, which isn't cool. Secondly, like, we have a P.O. box. That's where people send stuff for us. That is not cool to do to the innocent postal workers, especially because a lot of that stuff sits in, like, the P.O. box for a while before we go and pick it up. Don't do it. I like, even if you hate me personally for some reason or think it's hilarious, you're just being mean to them, not me. It'll be something I come in contact with for 5 seconds, but they're gonna have to sit in a building with it in there for weeks. It's not good.
Important skills for a man to cultivate these days. And so I like that question because these days are changing. They're changing real quick. And the things that I thought were important 5 years ago aren't so important. The things that I'm thinking about right now have to do with the current climate of chaos that this whole freaking world is falling into.
Right,
and if you don't know what I'm talking about, or you got your head in the sand, or you pretending like it's not going on,
Thanks for hosting,
me,
Pseudo-Sapien.
there's burning and looting in the streets. It may not be in your neighborhood, but it's coming soon.
Don't you love the scaremongering? Like, oh, even if there isn't protesting going on in your city, it will be soon, and it'll be violent. Like, no, probably not. Probably not.
There's going to be a collapse, economic collapse.
Daddy Sume, chaos, blood for the blood god, skulls for the skull throne.
Food shortage, a whole global reset is what they like to call it.
What is with conservatives and this, like, fetishization of this idea of the global reset? Like, they're all little Tyler Durdens thinking we're gonna go back to some agrarian, peaceful society where people, you know, build tanning racks on the abandoned freeway and they're gonna make furs out of their kills. Like, no. If anything happened, for one thing, credit agencies aren't going anywhere. If the government switched over for some reason and government agencies if credit agencies continued to exist, they will do everything in their power to continue that chain of authority so that they can still collect debts from people. Like, unless there's a literal, like, complete destruction of the electrical grid and the data systems that we have that, like, keep record of things. And even then, I'd imagine there are probably hard copies of about everyone's debt. Their mortgages, their college loans, whatever. People aren't just gonna, like, forget your tens of thousands of dollars in debt, whether it's your mortgage or your college, just because the government collapses. Hate to break it to you. It would literally be apocalyptic if it were that situation. Like, literally 90% of the people on the planet would have to die in order for that to happen. It's just not happening.
And when there's that type of upheaval, there's that type of chaos and change going on in the world, and we're being pit against each other based on race, based on sex, we're being pit against each other in terms of the COVID. You're the boogeyman. And I'm the boogeyman, and everybody who ain't got a mask is a freaking boogeyman.
Yeah, because you're assholes who don't care about the safety of yourselves or your fellow human beings. It would take you 5 seconds and a little inconvenience to put a mask on and protect people around you in case you're carrying COVID. But you're a bunch of whiny little babies that refuse to do things to help other people. But I don't wanna! Too bad. People are gonna call you an a-hole because that's what you are if you refuse to wear a mask.
So these are just indications, symptoms, and signs pointing to the inevitable continued degeneration and chaos that we're falling into. And given that, you know, I think the things that a man needs to know and a man needs to be able to do are much different than even 5 years ago. 5 years ago, I had a different list, but this year I got the 5 F's list. 5 things that a man must do, know how to do, engage in on the daily during this time of debauchery. Number 1, fitness.
Debauchery? Do you mean debauchery? Or is debauchery a different thing? Let me look. I think he means debauchery. But he doesn't know what the word is.
give you the list and then I'll go through them. Fitness, fighting, firearms, food, and females. About each one of those in a
So you need, what was it? Fitness, fighting, firearms. I'd argue firearms goes into fighting, but one's, I guess, like melee combat, and the other is guns. Fitness, fighting, firearms, fitness, females. Okay.
Moment number one, fitness.
Not sure what you mean by females. I'm interested in what you're going to say on that one.
When shit gets tough, when the shit hits the fan, when times are hard.
When can we get a female emote? Good question. We got a lot of emotes we gotta make.
Hard. Men gotta harden up. You gotta be physically fucking fit if you're gonna survive. That means you can't be dependent on 5 meals a day.
Big Booty Goth Queer. Oh no, sorry, read that one already. Bitter Mersank with 10 bits. Notice none of that involved making clothes, making shelter, being able to start a fire, being able to perform basic first aid, right? I don't get this either. All these like weird prepper people have this idea that, oh, to survive the apocalypse, we're gonna need to stock up on food and learn to be self-sufficient and da-da-da-da-da, and learn how to fight. Like, no. No. Those things are good. I get it. But the most important skill you're going to have to learn for if the like society collapsed like entirely, which is a situation in which no matter how prepared you are, there's a good chance you're going to die anyway, just by chance, just because the situation is not ideal. You're going to need to learn how to cooperate with people around you. Like, you on your property alone with your family, even if you're the most self-sufficient, are not going to be able to thrive. You need to learn to work with other people, because if there was an apocalypse, you know what would happen? People would have to regroup together into new communities, and you'd have one person who's like, again, someone who makes clothes. You'd have another person who maybe does handle security for the area, because of course there probably would be people who might want to come along and take stuff from your community. You're going to want someone who can farm, someone who can build buildings or design buildings. You're going to want someone who can repair stuff, maybe vehicles. You know what I mean? Like, no one is going to be successful in a situation where, like, the entire human civilization has been upturned if they aren't able to work with others successfully. The worst kind of people in this situation are the people who, like, stocked up food and they have a shelter under their house and they don't want to interact or help anyone. They're not going to have a good time. All that's going to happen if you have a stockpile in your house and a shelter and a bunch of guns is that a community's going to come around and find you at some point with way more people, and they're going to say, okay, we're going to take those supplies and guns because we need them. You can come and live in our community if you want, but you're not going to hoard all this stuff. Not cool. Like, it's not... You cannot survive like that. Daddy Sume with a bit... Because if it's just your family, you would just grow old and die unless you become incest breeders. True. People really think it's just going to be The Walking Dead. Yeah. People are delusional.
You can't be dependent on all the luxuries and all the comforts that are associated with air conditioning and ease and softness of life.
And even so, I don't get the whole focus on combat. 2 of his Fs were about combat. Like, fighting and firearms. Firearms would certainly be helpful for hunting. I'm not disagreeing with you there, obviously. But, like, fighting? If you are in an apocalypse scenario, the last thing you're going to want to expend energy on is fighting. Fighting is something that ideally will happen maybe once every 10 years. Maybe some community is expanding into your territory or something. And even then, you probably don't want to fight. Why are you wasting human life when there's so little of it to go around because there's been some kind of terrible apocalypse? You know what I mean? Like, if someone comes to your community and says, like, hey, we're part of a large network of communities and we like to work together and try and pool our resources to an extent and share information and, like, we just want to make sure you're all okay. And if you're like, get off of my property, like, that's not going to end well for you. That's a really bad idea. You want to work together with people. Fighting should only come up if literally, like, a gang of raiders, like in Dawn of the Dead, a motorcycle gang comes up and they're like, we're gonna take your stuff. Which I don't think would be a super common occurrence. I'm not saying it wouldn't happen. There are, like, people who do bad shit all throughout human history. I understand that. But more often than not in situations like that, you have people who are, like, conquerors. Someone like, if we're doing the Walking Dead comparison, like Negan, right? Like, Negan, at the end of the day, he's an evil person, but, like, his goal, at least in his head, is, like, I'm gonna unite these settlements under my iron fist. And Negan is not unique, like, in history. Look at people like Genghis Khan. Did awful, awful things. But, like, in his head, I'm bringing people together and we're all gonna follow my rules. Right? So that kind of thing would happen. But you're not fighting just roving gangs of, like, Mad Max villains. Daddy Sume with a bit. The most use you would get out of fighting would be in the immediate aftermath of the apocalypse. Then you just use survival skills, pretty much.
You gotta be hardened and fit.
If Tom Savini wanted you to be part of his biker gang, would you turn him down? I mean, Tom Savini got super eaten in that movie, so yes, I would turn him down. I'd be like, Tom Savini, you saw the movie. You made the special effects where they rip your head off and your vocal cords go as they stretch your head off your body. You know this ends badly for you.
Lifting, training hardens you up. I would put fitness and fasting together, right? Because I only got 5 of them, so fasting would be number 6. But I'm put it there with the fitness. Fitness and fasting, you gotta harden yourself up to the point where you don't need food every 5 hours. You don't need to eat constantly. You can go 2, 3, 4, 10 days without food if you need to, without cracking up, losing your mind. Most people, let's just say there's a food shortage, most people are gonna lose their shit within 72 hours because they've never skipped a fucking meal in their fucking life. They're so fat, nasty, and
MMO addicted to 25 bits. I mean, like my PC in my Eldritch campaign, she seeks to become a god and slay all other gods because she thinks humanity needs a stern but fair and loving parent god to guide it and ensure an eternal paradise. Yeah, basically. There are a lot of people in history who are like that. They're like, hey, like, my rule might be, like, really hard, but, you know, I'm trying to bring order. And I'm not casting any, like, moral judgment on this positively or negatively. It's history. What am I going to do? But look at the Roman Empire. Same thing. Like, Roman Empire did a bunch of really messed up stuff. Look at crucifixion as a punishment. Disgusting. But, like, they also ended up bringing, like, plumbing to places, you know, aqueducts, and I don't know. I'm just saying, like, history's complicated, and future history, especially in a case where we, like, get off of, like, modern society, and if we were to drop back down to, like, agrarian and empire building in that way, things would also be very complicated, and I very much doubt there would be clear good and bad guys like that. You even see this stuff in, like, apocalyptic fiction, like The Walking Dead. Like, sure, you root for the people you're following, but at the end of the day, they do a lot of messed up stuff too, so, I don't know. Daddy Sume, BS. Have you met the current generation? We're constantly worried about our bills and our food, and we're some of the most unhealthy. F this dude. Yeah, he's not the smartest.
Entitled that they've never gone a day without putting a morsel in their mouth.
There's nothing funny about the tools.
You on the
MMO addicted. Oh god, aqueducts. I had a PC once, an architect artificer, in a campaign where there was a fallen empire like Rome. They based all their research off a piece of machinery, which they thought was a badass weapon, but in truth it was part of a toilet. That's funny.
On the other hand, when you got your fitness right, because you're fasting and you're lifting and you're training, not only can you go days and days without eating, you can walk for days and days. That's one of the things I started picking up once again. Lately, I lift. Me and my wife, we lift, keep my family healthy. But lately I've been adding...
How is that gonna work? Elliot, in an apocalyptic situation where you think you're not gonna be eating for days and days at a time, you can't keep that up. your muscle mass is going to diminish immediately because you're not constantly working at it, and you're not intaking calories to maintain that muscle mass. Like, what?
More walking in, because you never know when you might have to bug out, right? Let's say some crazy shit pops off, right? There's all kinds of explosions going on all around the world right now. I just saw one happen in Russia. They had that one in Lebanon. I mean, let's say some
the big explosion that was an accident, that wasn't like an attack. They just had a bunch of explosives in a really stupid place, and it blew up and killed a ton of people. It's tragic, but that's not an apocalyptic event. That's just manslaughter.
Shit just blows up in my neighborhood, and we got to get out. And all of our cars, maybe our cars don't work or something like that. I gotta be able to put on a pack, and I'll be able to walk.
Just because you can go without eating every day doesn't mean you should. No kidding.
I gotta be able to walk with my wife, walk with my children, be able to walk maybe for days. It will be a good idea to prepare your fitness so that you don't have to eat without freaking out, and that you can walk. You can walk, you can climb, you can crawl, you can sprint. You gotta be
I'm in Michigan. I don't think I'm gonna have to do a lot of climbing. It's very flat where I live. Heck, you know what? If the apocalypse happens, I'm just not gonna survive. I want everyone to know. Let's say it's 5 years from now. The apocalypse has already happened. 1% of you who've survived are sitting in a mud hut somewhere going, man, I wonder whatever happened to Hannah. Just assume I'm dead. If modern society collapses, I'm done. I'm giving up. I have no want to live in a society without Netflix. I'm not even kidding that much. Like, I won't have access to the hormones I want. I'm gonna get treated badly by people because the only thing that even protects trans people is basically the understanding that society doesn't allow you to murder us without some consequences if you get caught. So I'm either gonna get killed or assaulted or something awful. And like 3, hard labor's not for me. I'm good. I'm gonna bow out in the case the apocalypse happens. Enjoy your mud huts, folks. I hope you build a better society than the one that I left, but, like, I doubt it. You'll probably be living with a bunch of weird right-wingers who think that this is, like, QAnon's doing, and QAnon will become, like, the new primary religion on Earth. I don't want to be a part of that, so I'm good.
Think about training in the military. What you would be training for is analogous to being able to survive.
PK the Lost, no Hannah, you'll be our queen. That sounds awful. I'd rather be a dumb internet person like I am now with Netflix and like I can go watch Cobra Kai than queen of the mud mounds. Like, who cares? What am I queen of? Oh, you went hunting and you got another deer? Great. We're gonna have deer tonight and some corn. Jake can be in charge of the corn. And we just do... What do? We just sit around all day and work and have no entertainment except for like a 30-year-old Zune that someone found that they can hook up to some speakers they've like jury-rigged. And they're just playing, like, Kesha on repeat, because that's all that was on the Zune. No thanks. You'll not be queen, you'll be our entertainer, stand-up comedy. That sounds awful. I don't want to be apocalypse stand-up comedian. So what's the deal with roving bands of raiders? Why the hockey masks? You're not playing hockey. Boom, doon, 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 doon.
During chaos, right? Might not need to deadlift 700 pounds, but you might need to walk 7 miles or more. So you got fitness.
You can always kill for entertainment. Okay, I'll stick around if we all form a community and we get a Thunderdome together, and we're gonna call it the Thunderdome, obviously. And, like, I get to be the person that just sort of, like, sits up on a chair above the Thunderdome, and then when someone's, like, mortally wounded, I'll get up and I'll be like... And then they have to execute the person. That's it. I'll be that person, and then I'll stick around.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Random invite with 5 bits. I like it. 20 seasons of Hannah in the apocalypse, but it ends unfortunately sudden when a raider has a bad drinking habit. Ooh, Hannah and Jake for Thunderdome commenters. Yes. That, you know what? Maybe that's what I was born to do. Just to be an apocalyptic Thunderdome commentator. Daddy Sume, this is what you will be, Hannah. Hedonism bot for Futurama. Okay. Sure, fine.
And you got fighting. Fighting is...
I'll be Master and Jake will be Blaster. Does that mean I gotta, like, sit on Jake's shoulders and pretend to be his head? Like Master Blaster? I'd vote you leader of my post-apocalyptic society. Yeah, that definitely wouldn't go over well.
Being able to protect yourself with your fist. That's really what I'm talking about. Fist fighting. And I'm not saying you have to become a pro boxer. I'm not saying that you got to take Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu classes and become, you know, a blue belt or some shit like that. What I'm basically saying is that you got to be able to knuckle up just enough to keep somebody off you. So even if you just take a couple classes on how to, you know, go, like for example, I never learned how to fight. It was one of the things that I did. I played football, I was a strong man, but I never did boxing.
Captain Seculoid, thanks for continuing your subscription. 4-month streak, 4 whole months, and Hannah's already making Road Warrior gang plans with Chad.
So I took some Muay Thai classes and I discovered something. A lot of you guys will know this shit, but I didn't know it. You gotta keep your knuckles up, right? Or you get knocked in the jaw. I see a lot of guys fighting and they do dumb shit like this. Or they get to keep their knuckles down. If you're in a shit hit the fan situation, which is inevitable, is coming, you gotta be able to knuckle up, keep your fist up. You gotta be able to move, you gotta be able to jab, you gotta be able to hook. Real basic shit. Punching and kicking. I probably wouldn't get into wrestling or jiu-jitsu too much because I don't want to fight. I want to fend you off. So just basic knuckling up skills. That's fighting. Number 2, firearms. You gotta know how to use a firearm. You gotta know how to pull a trigger. You gotta know how to breathe when you're about to blast.
99% of the time in the apocalypse, if you're using a gun, you're going to be using a rifle to hunt. You do not need to learn how to, like, be a combatant unless you're literally talking about the first 48 hours after an apocalypse. No. Unless you're a bandit. I guess if you're going to be a bandit, you probably need to know how to use a firearm more often, but...
Someone or something. You never know, right? Because you might need the firearm to protect yourself, and you might need it to feed yourself. Right? Which brings us to number 4, which is food. But let's stick with firearms for a moment. Look, a lot of people have a lot of aversion to firearms, and that has been purely conditioned because...
Natty Sume, these are the guys who are going to become raiders. No kidding.
Because it is a God-given right to be able to protect yourself. You need to be able to protect yourself. You got to be able to at least measure up to what the bad guys got, and all the bad guys got guns. You think you're so high and mighty and holy and you're a holy roller so that you don't need guns? Think again, dude, because the bad guy ain't thinking that way. If you live in a state, if you live in a country, if you live in a freedom-loving American city...
I don't have anything, for the record, I don't have anything against people like... My views on gun ownership have changed a lot over time. I'm fine with people owning guns. I don't really care. I think it's a good thing to own, especially if you're, like, on the left politically. Just know, people on the right own guns. So... maybe be prepared in case you need to defend yourself in case a bunch of QAnon crazies decide to, like, stage, like, domestic terrorist attacks or something. I think responsible gun ownership is fine. We can talk about, like, magazine size and limitations in order to keep people from, like, doing mass shooting events, but I think that's more like a mental health and socioeconomic thing. So... I don't know. I think having, like, rifles, especially stuff like bolt-action rifles for hunting, perfectly fine. Like, handguns for protection, fine. I'm more partial to something like a revolver than, like, a semi-automatic pistol, but, you know, whatever. I don't care. Get a gun if you want. Protect yourself. I don't really care. Do what you're gonna do.
You got it. Exercise the Second Amendment right. You must. It is your God-given right. It is something that you must do. It ain't something that's arbitrary. It's like learning how to feed yourself. It's like fitness. Look, we all know that if you train, you can protect you train your body to have a healthy body. But if you don't train to protect your body, that body can get wiped out any moment, right? You gotta be able to knuckle up, and you also know how to bust guns. That's, you know.
I've thought about getting a gun for protection, just a small one, specifically because I'm trans. And, like, the trans murder and assault rate is so high. If I end up in that situation, I can't fight. I'm physically not imposing at all. I have no upper body strength. I had no upper body strength before the hormones, much less now. So, like, I'm thinking about getting something just for self-defense to, like, carry in a purse or something. I don't know. What do you guys think? You think that's a good idea? Or nah?
There's nothing funny about the tools.
Most revolvers are semi-automatic these days. Oh, I didn't even know that. I don't know a ton. I gotta go do classes if I decide to get a gun. There's a place near me that does classes when you buy guns, so I'd probably get a gun there, and then also get the classes and everything, both safety and, like, they have class specifically for, like, concealed carry stuff. Daddy Sume, okay, this guy is really depressing me. I'm gonna go play Total War 3 Kingdoms after I do my chores. Was that Super Chat sponsored? It sounded like an ad read. Have fun, Daddy Sume. Probably should. A lot of people are like, yeah, probably. Alright, fair enough. Yeah. Just carry an AR-15. Yeah, no one would probably mess with me then. And I'll probably be safe because I'm very white. So I don't think the cops will mess with me. Revolvers don't usually have safeties? Oh, I didn't know that. If I ever somehow managed to live in the middle of nowhere, I'd get a better gun. Isn't there a stat where you die by your own gun a high amount? Yeah. I don't think of it that way though, because I'm not gonna self-inflict a gunshot wound on myself personally. Not worth. Daddy Sume, or I'll go play Raid Shadow Legends, available now on Google Play and iTunes. Funny. An ad read and a donation. That's like the endless void of capitalism.
Basic.
I've shot a gun before. It was just like a .22 that I shot at like my uncle's house, but I haven't really had a lot of experience with guns. And I've shot a rifle once, I think, when I was younger. Claire the Egg with 10 bits. What are the stats for others using your firearm against you? I have no idea. If you need, I can make recommendations for firearms at some point, maybe. I'm not getting one anytime soon. It would be a while from now. I got a bunch of stuff I got to deal with first. I still got to get my car fixed. I have a bunch of other stuff I need to deal with before I get a gun.
Basic manly shit. It's not about being a tough guy. It's not about, you know, walking around waving your pistol and shit. It's about being able to be able to use a tool in an effective way, right? I would say the same thing about a hammer or jackhammer or a saw, right? You got to be able to use these tools in order to survive, right? You need a chainsaw. You can't, rely on daddy or the government, or you might not be able to hire somebody to do something like that. Tools. So I put guns right in there, firearms right in there, with all kinds of survival tools.
Presumably, though, within the first 6 months, if there was an apocalypse, little communities will start to pop up, and those communities, if you live in one, will have guards. People who are police, even. I don't know if they would still call them police, or if they'd be I don't know. But, like, this is how human beings work. We intrinsically, as a social species, want to form communities. And when we form communities, safety is, like, a big part of what we want. Like, that security is part of why we group together. So, like, I get it. I get this, like, weird fantasy of, like, ooh, I'll be badass, and it's gonna be the apocalypse, and I'm gonna shoot a bunch of people. It's a weird fantasy, and I think it's bad, because at the end of the day, like, if I were in a situation, whether it's someone breaking into my house, or whatever, even someone who was trying to assault me on the street, if I had a firearm, shooting them would be the last thing I want to do. I do not have some weird power fantasy where, like, oh yeah, I can't wait to get into a situation where I get to shoot someone attacking me. That I feel like a lot of these kind of, like, right-wing people seem to have. It's so weird. Like, I understand wanting a gun as long as you want to use it responsibly and only as a last resort, but this idea of like, yeah, the apocalypse gonna happen and I'm gonna get to shoot a bunch of bad guys. It's such a childish, selfish fantasy. I don't get it. You got a yikes one?
So
how to be a, oh no. Okay, we can watch that another time.
Tools that you need to use to be a freaking man. I know you guys know how to charge your phone. I know you know how to type on the computer. I know you know how to upload a video and swipe for the right filter for your picture, but all that shit is not gonna be worth nothing when things go south, when there's a collapse, when there's a food shortage, right? So we got food as number 4, and when it comes to food, I'm talking about being able to forage, being able to hunt, being able to grow. These are things, listen, like I said, the past 5 years ago, I wouldn't have thought this way. It's only been the past year or so that I've been shoring myself up in these areas, trying to learn how to grow. I don't have a green thumb, but I'm trying my best. I got sweet potatoes growing all in my backyard, vines all over the place. First time I'm ever doing it, because if it comes down to it, and I gotta be able to feed my family, at least I could dig up them roots and chew on them, right? You gotta be able to grow something. You gotta buy some books or watch some YouTube videos on how to forage, right? There's a lot of food out there in our world, in our environment.
Wait, weren't you just like shit talking people who know to use how to use technology, and now you're asking them to go online in what is basically like super library of Alexandria to figure out how to do stuff? Wouldn't it behoove you, maybe? Like, if I were creating, like, a survival guide, I'd probably be like, all right, here's what you need to do. Have a special device, like an old iPod Touch or something, and then get one of those solar chargers, because they sell chargers you can get that are entirely solar, and you can charge your phone with them. Load that device up, download as many survival-based YouTube videos, whether it's, like, tips on farming, how to build, like, sturdy fences, how to, I don't know, build, like, latrines in a way that's sanitary, how to build basic shelters. I think there's an entire YouTube channel that shows, like, how to build a lot of stuff like this. Download as many of those videos as you can, put them on this device, save this device, put a strong case on it, and then if the apocalypse happens, you can use those videos to help people out and yourself and your community, and then you can charge it with the solar thing until it dies. And then hopefully you can maybe learn how to repair a solar panel. That's one of the videos you should put on the thing, and then study that one. I don't know. Just like the idea that, like, oh, technology bad, but also use technology how to survive. Seems kind of hypocritical.
Environment that you don't even know is food, right? You could eat certain plants that you could eat. You gotta be able to forage, and you gotta be able to hunt, right? I bought me and my son some air rifles. Just little airsoft rifles, you know, shoot BBs. Cause look, if it comes down to it, I'll eat squirrels. I'll feed my family with squirrels. I'll shoot rabbits, I'll shoot squirrels, I'll shoot rats. Maybe not rats. But I'll shoot little animals. I'll shoot these birds, you know, like we got these beautiful lovebirds, doves that live up and around my house. They, sure enough, they will be on a spigot. I will be eating them if the situation calls for it. And then finally, women. Females.
Females!
Shit hits the fan. All this gender equality bullshit is gonna go out the window, because when it boils down to it, a woman needs a strong man.
This is the thing that frightens me the most about the idea of an apocalypse. Strong men douchebags like this are gonna be like, all right, gender equality's over. Like, why? Why? Why would that be the case? Women have worked on farms for most of human history. Like, they also do house stuff, but there have been tons of instances in history where women also, like, till fields and stuff. The fact that society no longer exists doesn't mean you get to start treating women like second-class citizens again. What is wrong with you?
And when the shit hits the fan, all that I can do it, strong, independent woman shit is gonna go out the window.
Why? Can your wife not use a gun?
You need a man. Done.
That's it? That's your only commentary? Genius. Elliot Hulse is an idiot. He's not only an idiot, but he's a LARPer who likes to imagine a society in which he gets to tell women, alright, feminism is over, go back into the kitchen because there's no iPhones anymore. As if that makes any sense. Jesus, that guy's a bad dude. Okay, we have a cleanse that someone sent. A Chadwick Boseman tribute of some kind. Oh, is he gonna paint him with the roses? That's cool. Oh, it's an upside down one. That's very cool. It's very cool. I'm so sad he died. What a shame. Gosh. What else? What else? What else? Let's do the rest of this video, or at least another part of it. This is that guy who was defending the pedophile and being like, actually, it's a phebophilia. And he's like the substitute school teacher or whatever. We watched part of this before, and he's basically talking about why he doesn't understand why women want to have sex. He's a virgin, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's just interesting to me that he thinks he has an opinion that's informed enough that he should make a 35-minute video about it, and he's never been intimate with anyone. Just seems odd. It would be like if a car broke down by the side of the road, and I pulled over to help him, and they're like, oh, do you know anything about cars? And I'm like, oh, not at all. I don't know anything about cars, actually. I just thought I'd come and tell you what I think the problem is. It's the, it's that thing. It's that one. It's that part. That part, there's something wrong with it. And they go like, that's the windshield wiper fluid cap, and I go, yep, that's it. That's the problem.
I wanted to invest in her, and I wanted to have like a meaningful relationship with her. It's very interesting how that works. So like the thing is like with women, they're very counterintuitive. I don't know if they were always counterintuitive, but I know they're very counterintuitive.
No, they're not. What are you talking about? There are like 4 billion women. What's the population of the Earth? Population of the Earth. Altered Rin with 10 bits. I just got out of my first class of the semester. It's digital photography, and my teacher showed us a picture he took from a member of the Yakuza when he was in Japan. We're at 7.594 billion. Half of that's women. I think it's a little over half, actually. Just slightly. To say all men or all women are any one thing is incredibly stupid. Makes no sense.
Like in the last, decade.
Cancer's a bitch. It sure is.
In the last 15 years, what should work or what should be is flipped on its head. And the thing that kind of sucks, is hilarious, is it only works or it's only acceptable if the woman wants you in the first place. So, like, you can't really be a dick to a woman that doesn't want you. Like,
you shouldn't be a dick to anyone. What are you talking about? What? Don't be a dick to anyone. Why do you think that that's a good idea in any circumstance? If you're a dick to someone who's interested in you, they're just gonna think you're a dick. Are you confusing, like, confidence and, like, teasing, like, in a, like, jokey way as being a dick? Do you not understand that that's different from actually being an a-hole? They're completely different things.
Like I said, what women are really doing is they're doing a cost-benefit analysis. And the benefit is more than the cost. That's why women stay in bad relationships.
Couldn't you say that about anyone in any relationship?
It's not really that they enjoy the mistreatment. It's not really they enjoy being, well, some of them do. Some of them are just masochists. Some of them are. But it's,
okay, some of everyone are masochists. It's an entire subculture. What does that have to do with anything? And even people who are into, like, masochism don't necessarily want people to be mean to them outside of the context where they want to, where they have, like, a safe word.
it's really more, you know, they stand to gain more if they stay than if they leave. That's how they feel a lot of the time, usually. But more importantly than that, because I feel like I'm getting off of the beaten path, like I said, whenever I see women, like, express sexual interest, it's very, very bizarre to me.
I'm sure to you it is, because it's a foreign concept. But I don't understand why you don't understand that women have sexual interest just like men do. Like, how do you think this works if men have sexual interest but women don't? Like, what? Do you think women don't enjoy sex that they're, like, enthusiastic about with consenting partners? Do you not understand how sex works?
And a bit, like, fake. So I'm going to give you guys, like, a little bit of, like, a montage. This, like, on TikTok that I've seen. And this is also, like, on TikTok, it's very eerie. So I made certain to make sure. You know what? No, I'm going to put this in here for a second.
I'll probably skip over most of this. We'll watch one or two so we see what he's talking about, and then we'll move on, because I'm not going to watch a bunch of people's TikToks provided by this creep.
Because I do think it's important, but I want you guys, you know, like, we're going to have to talk about that in its own video. But I'm going to put it in here anyway. And I'm going to just show you guys a little bit of a montage. You know, there's lots of thoughts on TikTok, but look, check this out.
So when they see me, they make their wishes.
Face too pretty for doggy, ass too big for missionary. Okay, so she's making like a TikTok.
I'm an addict.
This one says, so horny, I told a guy he could teach me how to play Fortnite. Which is funny.
Why the hell is it that damn big? It's bigger than my face. I don't even know where it came from. I ain't never seen one this big. Damn dinosaur size. At least can you explain to me why it's so beefy?
Alright, I'm gonna skip ahead. You get it. It's a bunch of people making TikToks about sex, basically. Bunch of women. And this confuses him for some reason, because I guess he doesn't believe women have genuine sexual interest, which is odd.
So you'll see lots of different girls talking about all the dudes that they want. There's a couple of those in there. You have girls, you know, talking about times they had sex, girls talking about their favorite positions. Like, whenever I see women do that, a part of me doesn't take it seriously.
Why? Is it a confusion because you're like, well, women like sex, why don't they like sex with me? It's probably because you're awful. You made a whole video about how you think it's okay for adult men to be interested in, like, 15-year-olds. Like, you're disgusting. Just because women have a general interest in sex with people they're interested in doesn't mean they have to be interested in you. If you want them to be interested in you, you need to stop being disgusting.
Part of me doesn't believe it, and I find it to be...
Do we know what subject this dude studied in college? I don't know if he went to college. He's a substitute teacher in Florida, and I don't think in Florida you actually need a teaching degree to be a substitute.
Dare I say cringy. Like, it honestly makes me cringe a little bit when women talk about sex so blatantly and so openly, right?
Why?
Because I've seen my frame of reference, I think, is the problem. It's a direct contradiction to my frame of reference. And even just on some of the comments I've seen on TikTok as well, it's still, you know, it still will reflect this idea of males using women, of males taking advantage of women. Which, let me just kind of pause to say this, which is strange, was also very peculiar to me. You know, women, I didn't even finish that thought. You know, lots of women always say they get used by males, and I just don't understand this. I really don't.
Why? What don't you understand? Women can have a sexual interest and have gratifying sex with some partners, and then other partners will use them. That's a different thing. You understand that? Like, for one thing, you're probably talking about entirely different women. Women are not like a homogenous group. Every woman is an individual human being. Just like every man is an individual human being. So there are some people who've probably had more positive experiences with the opposite sex, or the same sex if they're like a lesbian or something, or bisexual, whatever. So they might have like really positive experiences that they share, or you might have someone who has a mix where they've had positive sexual experiences and they've also had experiences where someone they thought they were interested in and was interested in them just used them. You have some people who are more interested in stuff like one-night stands and hookups, and some people who want to have sex in the context of like a longer-term relationship. It's like he doesn't understand women are people, and he just treats women as like this amorphous blob of vaginas and titties that all share a hive mind like the Borg.
I don't understand. I know what they mean, but when I say I don't understand it, is I mean, I don't get how, as a woman, your brain allows this to happen. That's really what I mean. When I say I don't get it, I really mean, like, if I were a woman, like, my brain isn't geared the way females' brains are geared to allow this shit to prosper, because I just couldn't do it. My pride just wouldn't allow it. And this is a great example of that. And that's being used. Like, I don't get this shit. Like, I don't understand how, as a woman, you can be used for sex. Just number one, and just in terms of your pride, but let's just start with number two.
But there are men who get used for sex, too. Both heterosexual and homosexual men. Like, you can be used by either other men if you're either bisexual or homosexual, or you can be used by women if you're straight. Everyone could be used for sex, hypothetically. All it takes is you and the person that you're sleeping with to have different expectations, and the person who has a different expectation than you not communicating those expectations or outright lying about their expectations. Like, let's say you're a guy, and you're going in and you have a date with a woman, right? And she just wants to hook up, but you think that this could go somewhere and you still want to sleep with her, but you're like, okay, I really enjoyed this date, this could go somewhere long term, and like, let's say you communicate that to her in some way, and she says something along the lines of, oh, me too, but inside really she's thinking, I just want to get me that dick, and then I'm gonna head home, and then I'm never gonna talk to this guy again. Like, that would be being used. It's not necessarily a gender thing.
Number two, nigga, you were there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how are you used for sex if you are also having sex? Like, if you are
because people can go into sexual encounters with different expectations and different, how do I put this? False pretenses can be used in order to get someone to have sex with someone else. Like I mentioned before, like, one person could feign interest in you romantically in a way that sort of supersedes the sexual attraction. Like, maybe you're someone who doesn't necessarily want to do hookups, but you're like, okay, if I think I'm going to be in a relationship with this person, then yeah, we can engage in the coitus and have a good time. So let's say this person leads you on and says like, oh yeah, I'm really interested in going on another date. And then you're like, okay, let's go upstairs. And then you have sex, and then they never call you again, or they never, whatever, they ghost you. That's being used for sex. They led you on and made you believe that there was something more here than just a sexual attraction, when really all they wanted to do was get that nut. Right? That's how. That's the explanation.
Having sex with this dude that you find attractive, that you want, how are you being used? Is this nigga just like Doctor Strange you out your fucking body? Just, alright, I'm just gonna go explore the multiverse. Use my body like a fleshlight. And you just fly away. Your spirit just flies away while he has sex with you. Is that what you were used? Like, I don't get that. How are you getting used for sex if you're there too?
I just explained it, and I know you can't hear me. I understand it's video. I know how videos work. But I don't understand how you can't understand this. It makes more sense considering this guy's a virgin. Like, he's never had an interaction sexually. But, like, If you don't understand this, why are you making a 35-minute video about it as if it's like some sort of authoritative commentary on the state of women and their sexuality? You have no idea what you're talking about. Again, I'll go back to the car metaphor. Imagine I made a 35-minute YouTube video where I'm like, well, my car won't start. Let me open the hood here. Huh. Well, it doesn't start. This part is metal. This is a battery. It's hooked up. Why do batteries need to be in cars? I don't know. Could the battery be the problem? Why is the battery not wanting to function? Is it like being Doctor Strange and going up into the, you know? Like, imagine I make a 35-minute video pontificating on why my car's broken when I don't know anything about cars. But I still speak with some sort of authority as if I know what I'm talking about. I would sound like a jackass, which is what this guy sounds like.
And you want the guy. So that would mean if you're getting used for sex, that means, I guess you didn't want the guy, or you were trying to get something out of having sex, or you were trying to use it as a transaction.
No, you can have sex in certain situations, but not want to have it in other situations. You might want to have sex with only people you have some sort of deeper connection with, even if it's not like a long-term relationship. Let's say you like connect with a person and you really get along, but it turns out that that person was just telling you what you wanted to hear in order to get sex. That's being used. That's false pretenses. That's that person lying to you to get that nut, right? That's wrong. That happens. If you're going to talk about this, maybe you should have relationships with women.
So here's the long and short of it. What has happened was modernity has turned a lot of women into straight up prostitutes. Because if you're a woman
no,
and you say you've been used for sex, you do recognize that you're trying to say that there is some type of transaction that was supposed to go there.
Or you have specific standards that you set for yourself on when and why you're going to have sex with someone, and if someone lies to you to pretend to meet that standard, then you've been used because someone lied to you. It's not transactional, it's consensual. That's how that works. If your consent is contingent upon certain things being met, like someone like really caring about you, or even just the potential for a relationship, that's not transactional. It's just that you don't want to have sex with someone unless there's the potential for a relationship or something, or if you believe you're in a relationship but once you have sex they ghost on you, right? That's your consent being contingent upon specific factors that are being lied about to you. That's being used. That's not transactional.
On the sex. And you didn't get that, so you were the one that was used. So what are you trying to get? Now, of course, I get it. Logically, I get it. You wanted a relationship with Chad. Unfortunately, because Chad has so many options and you're not special, or you were just available, he used you and then he moved on. For some reason, women cannot grasp this concept, but, you know, that's beyond me. That's why.
It's almost like this whole Chad beta dichotomy is complete pseudo like biological bullshit being fed to incels so they don't have to self-reflect and wonder why no one wants to spend more than 10 minutes with them. Weird.
Why their brains don't.
I've explained this before too. This guy, Baz FZZ, whatever this guy's name is in real life, I have no idea. Like, this guy isn't unattractive. I think he could do for a haircut, like do something else with it, because it just looks kind of messy as it is and not in, like, a good way. Again, these are my subjective feelings. Like, he can do whatever he wants. But I'm talking about, like, if we're talking about, like, stereotypical attractiveness, he needs to do his hair and trim his beard so it's a little more neat. And he's, like, an attractive, normal-looking dude. He's, like, not unattractive. What's unattractive about this guy is his disgusting viewpoints and how he views women. That's what's wrong with him. It's not that he's some, like, eternal virgin beta. It's that he's an asshole.
Operate like that. I don't get it. That's what I mean. I don't understand. So it's like, how are you getting used if you are also there too? You should be enjoying having sex with this person. If you're not enjoying having sex with this person, you probably shouldn't be having sex with them. If you're starfishing people, if you're getting used, there's some problem there. Something ain't right. You know, but that's just number one. I just didn't like, oh, that was technically number two. Like, if you are in having sex, you are also a participant of what's going on. So then we got to move back to number one of this thing that that's strange to me. It's just kind of like your pride. Like, it's just, there's like a part of me that just cannot allow to be treated or like mistreated in a certain way. You know, you can't mistreat me and I'm just going to take it. Like, I'm going to have an opinion, I'm going to say something, or I'm just not going to deal with you at all. I'm just not going to have a conversation with you. I'm just going to end the engagement there. Lots of women I've noticed, no, they have that shit for little. They have it for me. I guess because I'm not Chad. If I mess up one good right time with a woman, if I do like one little minute thingy thing,
I very much doubt what you consider a minute thing is minute to anyone else. Based on how you talk about women, you probably mentioned some awful view you have, up to and including the fact that you think it's okay for adult men in their 30s to be attracted and hit on 15-year-old girls, as we saw in one of your previous videos. Or you mentioned how little you think of women and this whole, like, incel worldview where you think that there are, like, chads and betas and all this kind of crazy incel stuff. Like, if you mention that to a woman, of course she's gonna run away. That's not a little thing. It's telling about your personality. That's a red flag. That's a siren. That's a red light special. That's attention all shoppers. We have an incel in the building. Run away. No one wants to deal with that stuff because it shows that you're not a person who respects women. It shows that you're not even a person who respects yourself. Of course people are gonna run away.
That they don't like, I'm gone. Quick flash and in a hurry.
Thank you, MGTOW, for coming to the stream.
Chad cheats on them 2-3 times. They're still there.
Probably because the people you think of as chads are actually, like, decent people who are probably treating them alright, like another human being. That would be why. You don't consider women people equal to you, and that's why people don't want to interact with you.
And I've seen, like, here's the thing, I've seen it, like, I'm not making this up, dude. You know what, I'm gonna make a whole video where I talk about that on its own thing. I will 100% do that because I've seen it, right? And of course, again, intellectually, I get it. It's a cost-benefit analysis, and their foolishness and the benefit outweighs the cost. And if the cost is them,
you're literally just describing every relationship, and I'm not even just talking about like romantic or sexual. Platonic relationships, although it's a weird, like, callous way to look at them, there is a cost-benefit analysis, right? Like, if you're friends with someone and they're an absolute a-hole, like, if you're still friends with them, they must have other qualities that supersede that. If not, you're not going to be friends with them. Like, you can look at relationships in this stark, like, cost-benefit analysis way, but I don't think it's helpful. Because that's not really how we think about things. We don't think, yes, I must make a cost-benefit analysis of my friendships and relationships. It's just that at a certain point, intrinsically, we realize, wow, this person is not worth it. They're, like, really, really awful. Watch this funny video on Red Pill. Okay, hold on. We'll watch that after this one.
Getting their ass beat. You're just gonna get their ass beat. Like, it's like, you know, well, I still have a place to live, so I'm gonna...
What? So wait, you think that attractive men who you call Chad are all beating their girlfriends? No. That's not the case. Unless by Chad you mean cop, then there's a good chance that they're beating their wife. But people who stay in abusive relationships stay for a number of reasons. I'm not an expert on this, so don't take my word as, like, you know, law or anything. But, like, often people in physically abusive relationships will also involve emotional abuse. They'll tell people, like, oh, you're not going to do any better than me, you're trash, you're lucky to even have me. There's also fear of physical retaliation if they leave the relationship. Like, there's all sorts of reasons people stay in abusive relationships, and it's not right to insult these people, because people don't stay in situations like that just for fun. They stay in them because they're scared, or they've been manipulated into believing they're not going to do any better. That has nothing to do with, like, you, or this weird incel nice guy idea, or this Chad versus beta thing. You're bringing in abusive relationships to a conversation that has nothing to do with them. Very, very strange.
Just gonna take this ass whooping on the chin and stay. You know, maybe I should make a joke out of domestic violence, but hopefully it's important that you guys recognize that, again, I'm not saying that women enjoy this type of behavior unless they're a masochist. Like, they do exist.
Even if you're a masochist, you don't want to be in an abusive relationship, you idiot. Like, that's a messed up thing to say about, like, the kink community, to people who are into, like, masochism or whatever. There's a complete difference between, like, in the context of, like, a consensual sexual encounter being into pain or being into being, like, harmed in a controlled and safe way with a safe word, and someone being abusive. They're different things. Come on.
But what I want to be important is the fact that you'll see these extreme behaviors that women will accept, right? And then flip around and say that they're getting used for sex, right?
Thank you to Stone Corbell with 10 bits. People aren't 100% rational actors. They don't input stuff that's happened into the relationship computer and go, quote, oh, my current romantic relationship gives me 25% bonus to my financial status, but it's a -50 abuse modifier. I should end it. Yeah. Very silly of him to frame things in this way. Abuse by definition is unwanted, correct. Cat calling Gearbox says as a sub, I can tell you he is full of shit. Yeah.
And I feel like I'm losing the plot here, but I just wanted to talk about, let's move back on the TikTok, because I'm kind of all over the place here. Now, like, when I see videos like this on TikTok, there's like a part of me that, like I say, that kind of recoils a little bit, because my frame of reference is the opposite of this so much, just growing up in life and having friends that were females and talking to females and talking to women and listening to their experiences with toxic males, right? Seeing this getting countered, like, by all this different stuff that you've seen is just bizarre to me. It's just very, very, very strange, because it makes me wonder, how can you guys say that you like sex so much and then
because the vast majority of relationships and sexual encounters aren't abusive in nature. Do you get that? Do you think, like, most of the time when people go and have, like, intimate relations with people, trying not to get demonetized, I very much doubt I'm successful, but, like, when people go and, like, have, you know, consensual encounters, do you think most of the time it ends badly? No. You might not have great sex, but, like, it's probably not going to be abusive.
Constantly complain about the males that you're with. Like, where is the disconnect here? Like, what's going on? Like,
the disconnect is with you and your misunderstanding and your, like, misreading of the world in which you believe that the vast majority of sexual encounters people have are negative for the woman. Like, I'm not saying every sexual encounter for women is going to be, like, amazing and they're going to get a lot out of it, but I'm talking about, like, this idea that every single one is abusive, because it's not. Most of them aren't.
Something isn't adding up. And that's what I'm saying. Now, of course, different people are different. You have to take that. Like, some women are going to be, like, really, really sexual, and some women, like, really, really, really aren't.
Right. Because women are human beings like men, and the same thing applies to men.
But the thing is, it's overwhelmingly women aren't. And I put this in quotation marks because clearly they are, but they put on such an air about themselves that they're not. Now, of course, I imagine that lots of women will say that this is due to the social pressure of ladies not wanting to appear as being sluts or being slutty or being promiscuous. But I have to say that there's a gigantic misunderstanding here as a woman if you think that it's reasonable to pretend to dislike sex when actually you're really, you know, getting into all these toxic different behaviors and whatnot.
Dude, do you understand that if a woman shows sexual interest, and I know you're like, oh, but that's not the case. Yes, it is. If women show sexual interest publicly, a lot of people call them sluts. A lot of people say they're like harlots. They might not use that exact word, but they'll say all kinds of things. Call them thoughts. Call them, you know, all sorts of awful things.
No one is really gonna think that you're a slut because you enjoy having sex.
What? Do you live in America?
With a la one person. What makes you promiscuous is having sex with multiple people. And like when you broadcast it on the internet, like a lot of women don't grasp this. They do grasp this, but what they want to do is they want a two-step. You know, and I hate this with a hot, fiery passion, this two-step that women do. Women will dress in a very enticing and revealing way, and then they say, well, I just do it for myself. I wear...
Dude, just because you find something to be, like, enticing doesn't mean that's the intent necessarily. Like, if a woman is wearing, let's say it's hot out, and she's wearing, like, really short shorts, she's not wearing them for you. She's wearing them so she's not hot. Because it's hot out. Like, not everything is for you. Do you understand that?
Wear makeup and whatnot, and I just do it for myself. And for a long time, I didn't...
Someone has some kind of link or something?
About the tools of capitalism.
UPenn professor calls for investigation following new SAT revelations by Trump's sister. That's funny. Yeah, Trump's sister basically said he paid someone to take the SATs for him. I don't know if anyone heard about that. Ask Compu with a bit. So according to this guy, you're a slut unless you dedicate yourself to the first guy you F for life. Yep, pretty much.
Didn't really grasp that concept because I'm like...
Like, dude, do you consider other dudes who sleep with multiple women sluts? No, you call them chads, which isn't derogatory to you people. Do you see the double standard?
That doesn't make any sense. You can't see yourself.
These people consider it awful that women talk about enjoying sex, but they don't even bat an eye when men do it. It's ridiculous. Yeah, they're hypocrites.
As you go through life. Unless you are so narcissistic as to where you just have a compact mirror and you just look at your face. You don't see yourself. Your appearance purely exists outside for other people to consume, and it's going to affect how they treat you because it's just you, at your eyeballs see outward. They don't see the inside, right? You don't look at life in a third-person view, nigga, right? This isn't a video game. It's not a top-down perspective. Oh, I got to make sure I look beautiful for my avatar. It's not how it is.
Okay, but you can wear things and understand that you're wearing them and it can make you feel good. Like, if I wear makeup, for instance, even though I don't do it as often as I really should or like to, because I'm lazy, I can't see it, right? I can't see it, but I know I'm wearing it, so it makes me feel nice. Like, do you understand that? Clearly, like, for instance, when I wear makeup, I don't expect anyone else to like it but me. I just don't. I have a very negative self-perception, which isn't healthy, but I'm just pointing it out. But I still want to wear it, because it makes me feel nice, even if I don't think anyone else will perceive me as such. People wear things all the time to make themselves feel good, whether you're a guy or a girl. Like, do you not understand that? Have you never put on, like, a jacket you really liked that you thought made you look nice and gone like, yeah, I'm feeling good today? If not, that's a shame. You should go buy yourself something nice that makes you feel good. Ask Compu with a bit. Yes, but this guy can't understand the concept of anyone doing something that isn't meant to benefit him. Yeah. I looked fantastic last night. Thank you. I appreciate that.
You know, so it's like, when you look at it purely logically like that, it's bizarre. It's bullshit. Like, so I changed the parking lot because my phone overheated and I overheated and my eyes all red. I just noticed, and it's not a good look. It's hard. It's tough, man. So when we last left off, in the last cut, we were talking about the two-step that ladies do, where they will outwardly broadcast sexual availability, and then they'll...
Why are you assuming that if a woman wears something other than a burqa, that they're broadcasting sexual availability? Stop thinking everything is for you. It isn't. You narcissistic, selfish bitch. Stop.
They'll recoil and say, well, no, I was just doing it for myself. And like I said, I didn't grasp it, especially the whole makeup thing. But what I came to understand about women putting on makeup, or women putting on, you know...
Oh, God, he's about to say some really ignorant bullshit.
Their thought uniform. What they're really saying...
Their thought uniform. Makeup. Something women across the country put on every day to go to work. Because if they don't, then their coworkers are gonna be like, "You look sick. Are you okay?" Calling it their thought uniform. You fucking idiot.
Saying when they say I do it for me or I do it for myself is I do it for my self-esteem to feel comfortable, right? What they're really trying to say is they feel like when they don't.
Oh, we're gonna put words in women's mouth. This should go well.
Don't wear makeup, they probably feel like there's something wrong with them, like they're not presenting themselves in a way that's favorable to themselves.
Right, there's an immense social pressure for women to look a certain way in society. Like I said, sometimes women will, like, if they, like, wear no makeup, let's even take it down. Let's say you're wearing a full face of makeup. People think you look nice. They'll be like, oh, you look nice, maybe. At minimum, or at maximum, they'll be like, oh, you know, nice. If you're wearing natural makeup, a lot of men will think you're not wearing makeup. And they'll be like, oh, you look so nice without makeup. And you're wearing, you know, foundation and concealer and stuff. And then if you don't wear makeup, there's some people who will come up to you and be like, oh, you look sick. Are you okay? Because they're not used to seeing your face without at least natural makeup on. Like, there's immense social pressure because the bar is set so high for women that if they just come out with, like, their natural skin, people will be like, oh, are you okay? You look sick.
They probably look bad in their minds. So when they say they put on makeup for me or myself, it's more so they feel comfortable in their own body. It's not really so much because they want to look attractive to other people, but because they want to make sure that they don't look bad. So
partially, and also people just like to look nice. The same reason a guy might want to wear a nice suit somewhere that's, like, formal. Like, or to work, you want to, like, get a tie that's nice or something. I don't know. Whatever makes you feel that you look either professional or nice going out, it can make you feel good to do that. And for men, those things are a little bit different in terms of what you wear. Like I mentioned, a suit, and for women, it might be like a either like a nice, like, power business suit if you want to Hillary Clinton it up, or if you're wearing, like, a dress or a skirt or some makeup, stuff like that. Like, people do this kind of thing all the time. Dressing up nice makes people feel good about themselves.
Really what a lot of women are doing is they're here, normal, because they think they're ugly. And all makeup does is it just pushes them just on equal footing, that they're just acceptable now, right? Now, of course, I would have to say, we'd have to crank that one a step further to where, you know, if you start dressing in a revealing manner, there's you know, either you're foolish or you know exactly what you're doing. There's probably no real in between. You know, you probably are trying to obtain male attention there.
Fuck you! No! Listen, virgin bro. And again, there's nothing wrong with being a virgin. But clearly you've never talked to a woman before in an honest and open way. So why are you trying to act like you can read the minds of women when you can't even get in a close enough relationship with one to, like, have sex with anyone? Like, what? Like, you think that oh, I know the inner machinations of the female mind. And you're like 30, and you haven't even been close enough to a woman to sleep with one. Like, where do you get off? Not in a woman, that's for sure.
But as far as
Nick Snort, thanks for subscribing. 4-month streak, I appreciate that.
Makeup is concerned, I accept what women are trying to communicate, that makeup makes them feel normal, you know, quote unquote, rather than they're wearing makeup because they want, you know, to bring in more male attention. I think the revealing clothing, there's not much argument there. Twerking, not much argument there. And broadcasting sexual availability, I would have to put in the category, not much argument
Shylock
there.
with 200 bits. Good joke. Have bits. Oh, hype train. Woo! You me Devin, I think. Thank you for subscribing.
Nothing funny about the
hype train.
There's no way, like on the whole TikTok thing that I'm showing you guys. But right, the thing is, you know, these women, they'll make these TikTok.
Thrash Mio with 30 bits. Thank you.
And of course, they are broadcasting sexual availability, obviously, to high status males, to males that they want. But the thing is, mostly being creepy, here's what's interesting thing.
Sham Rockstar, thanks for the 15 bits.
Doesn't want you, not necessarily your actions are strange or bizarre, unfortunately. That word should be reserved for other behaviors that are strange and bizarre and unbecoming. But really, it's just that, you know, you tried to spit game to a woman and she thought that you were ugly. You know, maybe you were nervous.
It might not be ugliness. In your case, again, dude, you're not ugly. It's just your inside personality that's ugly.
Or something, but you just cranked that bit up to 12 because you were ugly. If Chad was nervous and she thought that he was a beautiful human being, she was finding cute and endearing. We all know.
Sham Rockstar, thanks for another 14 bits.
This, okay? Or at least we should. If you don't know it, you know it now. You know, like a huge portion of like approaching or trying to communicate with other people, especially with women, as much as they like to say that they care about.
Stone Corbell, thanks for gifting a sub. Appreciate that. And thank you, Bitterest Buggy, with 20 bits.
Personality. It is genuinely being an attractive person. That's just kind of the long and short of it. You just have to accept it. That's just how human beings are.
Like, dude, I'm not going to say that attractive people in society don't have an easier time. I think that's true. I think that's true to an extent. But you're acting like you're ugly. You're not. You're like an average-looking dude, and you could be above average if you just did like a haircut and like trimmed your beard a little more equally so it's not so frazzly. Like, you are not ugly. Why do you think you are ugly? Because people don't want to deal with you? That's not because of your looks, it's because of how mean you are and how awful you and the awful way in which you view women. Antipodian Squid with 600 bits. Joke's on this guy. I only started feeling good in makeup after I came out as agender. Well, there you go. MW1642, 200 bits. Thank you very much. Oh, we're at 54% of level 2.
Rage against the machine as much as you want. That's just how it be. The problem isn't that that's just how it be. The real problem is the fact that like women are understanding that like they are broadcasting, you know, a message out there that every radio is receiving and picking up, right? And without the knowledge of understanding that, of course, women only probably want realistically 30% of males available. Like, that's a realistic take. You know, 80-20 is too much. 90-10, way too much. That's a little realistic.
Dude, what? No. Like, if you want to talk about, like, people wanting, like, attractive partners, I'm sure most people want an attractive partner, but that doesn't mean they're only going to go after supermodels, men or women. Like, that's not how things work, right? People date people that they know. People date people that are available. People don't go like, I would date you, but I'm holding out for a supermodel. Like, that's ridiculous. That's just not how people function.
Realistically, it's more women want the top 30%, 35%, you know, and which isn't good.
If we did a poll of all men, do you think that they're going to, let's say we showed them random pictures of like average women, and then we had like supermodels or like actresses or something, and we said, who would you be more likely to date? Do you think that the men aren't going to be like, well, I guess I'd probably, just based on the pictures and not any personalities, probably want to date the people they find more attractive? That's true for most people, I think. Men and women both want to have partners they're attracted to, but physical attractiveness is not the end-all be-all of how relationships work in the real world, right? You can be attracted to someone who isn't a supermodel. Most people are just average looking. That's why it's average. But what makes you attracted to someone is not just physical appearance. It's like who they are as a person, their interests, like who they are inside. These things are incredibly attractive as long as you're not a shitbag. So what, I don't understand what his criticism here is. Like, I imagine if, like, someone who this guy considered unattractive, a woman who came up to this guy, who he considers unattractive, and they were like, hey, do you want to go on a date? He's probably going to say no, because he's not attracted to them. Wouldn't that make him a hypocrite? Is he not doing what he's, like, accusing women of? Making determinations based on some standard? Antipodian Squid with 100 bits. I only date people in the top percentile of Rattata. DM Trey. Yay, I finally got a call back for a job interview. Hey, good job. We're at 59% of the level 2 hype train with under a minute left.
It's not a good thing, you know, but it's not really, you know, that's not really the point. You know, the point being is that it looks really bizarre to me. Like if, like I said,
Ask Compu with a bit, but he doesn't see women as people. He sees them as NPCs that were made for him. It certainly seems like it.
even though I can intellectualize it very well, it's still very strange to me when I see women, you know, say, hey.
Pizza is my dad. Hello, human female. I see that you have selected to wear clothing I find arousing. You are also in makeup. You have now initiated the human mating ritual. As such, it is our best interest to procreate with one another. Give this opportunity. Nah, brah. She called me creepy. What the fuck? Thought. Thank you. Chamber of Slime. Thank you for following. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for the hype train, everyone.
I want to have sex, or hey, I like sex like this, because like I said, my frame of reference is the opposite. You know, sex for women, relationships with males for women, very seldom is ever put in any positive light. Very seldom is a compliment nary ever given to males. And now every now and again, of course, the only time it is a great and wonderful thing is when a woman is recounting a tale with Chad or a tale with a large penis. Like you, and it's always this extreme stuff. It's always large, you know, penises, which I say it frankly now, this video's gonna get demonetized now if the censors watch it up to this point. But that's a whole nother video into itself as well. Like I could really intellectualize that. No one would watch that video, no one would care, but we could talk about that because that's an interesting thing to.
Hannah, I wear hats reloaded. Yeah. Chad strikes again with the monster
I know
dong.
That shit sounds pretty gay, so no homo. Anyhow, what I'm trying to say here.
I don't think anyone thinks about penis more than incels. You ever notice that?
To wrap this video up, because I'm hot, is that it's really strange to me when I see women be outwardly sexual. And so this leads us to WAP. I was supposed to talk about this song, WAP. Wet behind female nether regions.
What is with these people and not being able to say this stuff? Like Ben Shapiro, Sargon, this guy. Like, why do this female genitalia scare them? Very strange.
That's the censored version. How would you even put an acronym? It would be WBFNR. That's not even you can't even pronounce it. So, the song, I'm gonna be honest with you, it's off to me because it's a very, very, very good song. What I mean by that is Meg Thee Stallion and Cardi B have a very strong stage presence.
There's nothing funny about
they play their characters.
Antipodian Squid with 100 bits. It's because feminine sexuality scares them, Hannah. You know that. I suppose. Still, very strange.
Well, their metaphors were great. Their examples were fantastic. The sample hit. The thing that sucks about WAP is the fact that all that talent goes into something so debase and something so low effort that people just have no choice but to accept it. Like,
have you never heard, like, any other rap or hip-hop song before that's been about, like, bragging about sexual prowess? Like, male hip-hop artists do this all the time, too. Like, what? This is not something that's unique or new. There's tons of music that's about, like, I got a big dick. I fuck so many bitches, right? It's just that this one happens to be about, you know, women who are talking about getting laid. This is not something new. Captain Seculoid with 95 bits. There's some incels in this basement. I think one of them peed.
Saying I'm a woman that wants to have sex, it's like I said, I'm a strange individual. I don't know if anyone shares that cringy bizarreness that I have. I'm probably alone in this, but I recognize that other people probably are never gonna be like, wow, a woman wants to have sex, that's weird, you know?
Yes, because it's not weird. It's not weird. It's weird that you think it's weird. Tetsuyo Dragneel, big ass penis, BAP. There's an easy acronym for you. 5 bits. Thanks.
I'm sure most people would just be very enthusiastic to go into it, especially males. And because of that, it feels very low-hanging fruit, or very low, I don't want to say low value, but it feels very lazy to create a song. It's with so much skill. Like, these women have a strong stage presence. It just sucks that they can only talk about having sex. It's like, yeah, like...
Dude, like, when you listen to Sir Mix-a-Lot's I Like Big Butts, do you think the same thing? Do you think, like, oh, this Sir Mix-a-Lot, oh, I can't believe the Queen knighted such a degenerate who writes nothing but songs about how he likes large posterior regions. Like, what? What? There's tons of songs about boning down. There's tons of songs about things people find attractive. There's tons of songs about all sorts of degenerate things, whatever that means. Come on. Ugh.
That's easy. Like, it's the lowest common denominator. We all have reptilian brains. Only people who are
I can tell you one thing. I don't care if it's today. I don't care if you're a Roman citizen. I don't care if you're living on the moon. In 500 years, someone makes a dick joke, you're gonna laugh. Humans like their genitalia humor, okay? Get over it. It's funny. Bleak Anomaly, thank you for following. This is honestly... It's his honestly that the Queen respected. Ugh.
Sexual, and even then, that's a whole topic unto itself, are really the people who aren't going to resonate with that. It's easy, but there's just so much skill that went into what these women did. It's like, damn, imagine if they actually talked about something with substance, they'd be fantastic. But instead, we get WAP. And really, more than anything else, what WAP really is it's a concentrated effort to show us that we've just created a generation of just prostitutes. And I just...
Or it's like a funny tongue-in-cheek song with a funny music video about wet-ass pussy. I think it's that one.
Just don't, and I mean beyond OnlyFans, and I mean beyond streetwalkers. I mean, you have women trying to use sex as a bargaining chip to obtain something.
What? Have you heard the song? The song's about them enjoying sex. What?
Whether it be a relationship, whether it be free food for that time and day, women aren't having sex as its own experience with males to enjoy it with men.
What? Did you even listen to the song?
Even as its own experience to, like, have babies. And of course some people aren't. This is not everyone. Of course. But, like, generally, when you look at the culture in general, you're a little more bizarre and strange, you know, especially if you're a young individual who wants to be, like, especially like a liberal environment, who wants to be in a family unit, or who wants to have a good, strong relationship. You know, you look like you're out of your mind, right? Rather than you look like, you know, like a normal person. So the thing is, like, and that's kind of I think the overarching issue I would feel with WAP is more that the fact that it's nothing different, it's nothing out of the ordinary, and that's kind of the problem. It's the fact that, like, it's gonna get to a point where, like, this whole prostitution, you know, slutdom whoredom thing for a woman is going to be the benchmark for being a female.
Dude spanking dudes. Even if this dude is saying, woman using body to make money, no shit, because this is a capitalistic society. People need to eat, bitch. There's no dignity. We need money. True. Stay tuned for my feet pick only fans.
And that's really bizarre, right? Because not only is it a foolish maladaptation of what a lot of women think the male experience is. A lot of women don't have the empathy or recognize the male experience for most men is not being promiscuous. It's not having a bunch of sex. It's more commonly it's no one or one person you stay with for a long time.
Okay, and that's also true of most women, right? You get that, right? Hip-hop songs aren't supposed to be about, like, boring everyday life. It's like, here's a song about how much money I have. Here's a song about all the fornication I involve myself in. Here's a song about blah, 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 blah. Yep. Most people, they'll maybe have a few relationships in their life. They'll have different partners. Some people will have more hookups. Some people don't like that kind of thing. Some people will settle down, some people never do. Like, people have all sorts of different experiences in life.
There's nothing
Why
funny
are you
about the
assuming
tools of
that most women are, like, promiscuous? You have no basis for that. It's just a weird incel trope. Ask Compu, is the Wheels on the Bus a hip-hop song? I'm sure there's a hip-hop version.
You know, and that's only like being able to be promiscuous is for a small portion of males. And so women, the only way they can be promiscuous is by going up to those guys who are going to be bouncing around from them, right? So you see how the cycle just goes on and on and on and on. And so that's going to become the default. And that's basically being solidified with WAP. What's being solidified with WAP is the default way to be a female is to be outwardly sexual.
Yes, I'm sure 1,000 years from now, when we live in a society with one Chad king and, you know, millions of women he just impregnates one after the other, truly, we will say the founding document of our society was the song WAP. What?
So much. But like I said, for people like me, I might be alone in this, you know, I might be the one lone male. It's very, very, very bizarre. It's very, very strange to see women be outwardly sexual when they spend so much time dogging.
It really isn't. It's not even new. Like, female sexuality has been, like, weaponized by capitalism for a really long time. Do you not remember the Burger King advertisement with the burger and they're being all sexy, washing the car, and they're like, have a Burger King burger? Like, this is not new. It wasn't even new when that came out.
Males and talking about how males are using them or talking about their negative.
Oh, that was Hardee's? My bad.
With men.
Guess the ad didn't work very well if I don't remember that.
And very seldom is it ever a positive thing. And then even then, it's still the only positive thing they usually say is that the male had a big penis and that the sex was good. And that's another thing that's also strange too, is a lot of women will say they stayed because the sex was good or some nonsense like that, or because he had a big dick, but he was just so toxic and bad. And then it's like, okay, so then what do you really value then? You apparently have no integrity. You have no honor. I know I say this a lot.
Because no man has ever stayed in a relationship because the sex is good. Alright, bro, whatever you say.
But you have no integrity if you're just going to... I mean, you have no pride in yourself if you're just going to allow yourself to get used and mistreated like that. And so, yeah, I think I'm going to have to end the video here because it's really long and I'm hot and I want to go home. So with that being said, I just don't know if you guys got something out of today's video. Probably not going to do this car stuff anymore because damn, it's hot. But if you did, man, go ahead and click the like button. Go ahead and click that subscribe button. Comment in the comment box below. And as always, you guys have yourselves a great day. I'll see you cool cats soon.
This guy, I'm torn. On the one side, the guy's awful, but on the other side, clearly he's just like nuts. Like he's got issues that he needs to deal with, but he never will. So I don't know what. I really don't know what to do. Just a very strange guy. Who links to their Social Blade on their YouTube channel? That's weird. If you don't know, Social Blade is a site you can use, you know, to, like, look at the stats for people's YouTubes and other stuff. Why would he link to that on his own? If you want to find someone's Social Blade, you just search it. You don't need to link it. Very strange. Cotton Candy 903, bringing up honor immediately made me think of Prince Zuko. Alright, that's enough of him. There's this video one of you guys sent from a channel called Sir Spence. With a C.
What the f*** are you doing in here? So, what I just walked in on?
Yeah.
I think we need to talk.
Okay.
Simp!
What the f is this?
Sign up.
You want to be a soy boy? If I had known that he was going to turn on me by the end of this, then I wouldn't have given him so much as a moment of...
This is like a joke, right? Red-pilled Peter, a subservient simp, has moved into a shared living space with lost incel Preston Selleck. Preston red-pills Peter, but things take a turn for the worse when Peter gets a glimpse into what he may become and what isn't one of Preston's finest moments. Parody? Good. Okay. Yeah, we can check this out. It's 9 minutes.
My time.
Before I had met Preston, I thought all women were queens.
You're my doormat.
He has a very unfortunate past.
He's got the TLC reality show editing, like, down pat. Very, very funny.
And I'm here to save him. So basically, I'm making this your new homepage on your computer.
Okay. 4chan?
Yes, .org.
Okay. And why?
Just basically just a community of people who are all based. I have a full indoctrination plan in which I will educate him with fantastic cinema to open up his mind to the truth.
So they just like got rid of everybody's debt.
Fight Club, yes. Perfect. Very funny.
Yep.
And he was him the whole time.
He was him the entire time. He literally red-pilled himself. He's a god. Basically, think of me as your Tyler Durden. I'm the Brad Pitt character in the film. For you.
Wow. My opinion on movies has completely changed. I used to like Star Wars and crap like that, and like mainstream sheep bullshit. And now I'm like really into like the Matrix series and Fight Club and
Joker.
The Joker. That's like the holy trinity right there.
We have alternatives to women, which include androids, which are kind of in the works. They're going to get better. And I also have something that is an alternative for a female vagina, because we, as a society, have outgrown those. So this is basically going to replace all females, the world's greatest scientists. So of course, they're all men.
Why is it sticky?
You weren't supposed to touch it yet.
You know what's awesome is I've actually been abstaining from sex my whole life, and now I'm choosing to.
So it's different. So yeah, just like in real life. Oh, what? Careful.
Sorry. It's just super slippery.
That's what they feel like in real life. You wouldn't know because you're a simp.
Do you know?
I have done my research.
Okay, so obviously you need to delete your Cash App. Dangerous.
But I need that.
PayPal, delete. Venmo.
I need that. I need all.
For who?
My queen.
Oh my god, get the f out of my house if you're gonna talk like that. You can't just pay them willy-nilly. They're not gonna give you anything. Have they given you any pics or anything though for them?
No.
I was gonna say, if you show me, I'll let you keep one of them. Literally, all girls are shallow. Just because we're shorter, average looking, and poor, they won't even give us a chance. Shallow bitches.
Yeah. But have you ever gone for a girl that's short, average looking, or poor?
Why the f would I do that?
That's inceldom, and that's like red pill stuff in a nutshell. All these people are like, their standards are incredibly high, but they don't think it's okay for women to also have standards. Very strange. Rollin' Berry 9, thanks for following. Welcome to the stream.
So no girls are different. They're all the same, and they're all gonna treat me that way.
They're all going to treat you that way. Literally, you need to base your entire outlook on all females off of this one experience you've had with this one individual.
Okay. Preston's actually been teaching me about why I've never been laid in my life. How it's not based on my actions and my behavior. It's actually based on the fact that there's Chads that live among us, feminism, and the time period in which we live in. See, if this was the 50s, I would already have a wife and kids.
The government should just give us those things. That should be a law. Basically, if you look at history, there's always been people who are oppressed. We are the new oppressed. We're basically, Kanye's song, New Slaves, is basically about us, is what I'm trying to say. We're the new slaves. So it's gonna look different when I put on the makeup. The makeup from Party City.
Okay.
And also, I need a red blazer, but basically it's just...
Oh, he's gonna do a Joker parody.
Can I give it a try?
You haven't even seen the movie.
Yeah, okay.
It's on your list. We're working our way towards it.
Let's just dance. Okay.
You have to watch Matrix Reloaded first, and then you can watch Joker. There's an order to this. You have to graduate to Joker. What the is this?
Soy milk.
You want to be a soy boy?
Honestly, if this, he should send this to, like, I don't even know, maybe Adult Swim, and just do like a 6-part like mini series. Like, I'd watch that. This guy's very funny. In fairness, he's kind of using all the material he can in this like 9-minute video. I don't know how you stretch this, but like, this is funny. Like, he's good.
No, I'm just lactose intolerant.
Okay, well, I'm intolerant of simps. I'm lactose simp tolerant. We got to get your T levels up, basically, is what I'm saying. Basically, we need to fill this puppy with all red meat, get rid of all this crap. You're going to become, you know, basically a carnivore. Just follow Joe Rogan's Instagram and eat what he eats.
But my dad actually has colon cancer, and it's the most hereditary form of cancer, and I don't eat red meat because of that.
I think a soy boy is just in your genes. If I had known that he was going to turn on me by the end of this, after I gave him everything, basically do what women do to me when I give them everything, then I wouldn't have given him so much as a moment of my time. I knew he was just a cuck from the very beginning. Your worth is high. My IQ is naturally higher than yours biologically. I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to dominate you. My IQ.
Preston, check out this post I just got.
What the f are you doing in here? I'm just hanging out. You want to hang out? Did you want to hang?
I think we need to talk.
Yeah.
I think we need to talk.
Okay, we can talk.
Okay. Meet me downstairs.
Just give me 5 minutes. 7 minutes, probably. That's all I need. 5 to 7?
Come on, let's be realistic. I'll give you 2 minutes.
Okay, I'll see you in 2 minutes.
So, what I just walked in on, I don't want to be that. That's really sad. So, I'm going to change. Yeah, I'm going to leave.
I f***ed up.
Preston, I've been doing some thinking, and can I just be honest with you?
Yeah.
So before I met you, I was subservient to a woman, right?
You were a cock and a simp, and you were wrong.
I was just doing all these tasks and hoping that there was an end reward for me, you know, that she would turn and be like, hey, after I've ran over you like a train, I love you now.
Like some kind of transaction.
Yeah. And obviously, that's not a way to live. But what I've come to realize is that even though society doesn't necessarily give a f*** about us, and we do live in a society.
I'm glad I could impart that into you.
You make me feel like I want to rage quit life. You know, that there is no improvement and there's just hatred. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that there's a better way. You know, through self-improvement, patience with myself, and humility. I think there is a way. No simping, no inselling, no chatting. Just being me. What do you think?
So what you're saying is that just through some honest self-reflection, some humility, having a better attitude, and just focusing on self-improvement, that we might all just make it?
Yeah.
You got me thinking. Thinking that you're a total f***. Get the f*** out of my house. Simp!
This is too on the nose for red pillars to get. Sorry, fake news hoax. That was good, though. This guy has earned a subscription. Very funny. He's like, he nailed the red pill stuff. Very, very funny. Let's see what else we got. I'm curious, what's Red Pill God up to? I have him on here somewhere. I'm not sure where. Red Pill God. Someone post it to incels.co and see what they think. Eden Edenburg Andy, thank you for following. Welcome to the stream. Red Pill God, remember Red Pill God? I did a debate with him a while back. He's like he's a red pill guy. It's in the name. Let's see what he's been doing recently. Doon 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 doon. Oh no, he's got some beef. He's got beef with Anthony Spade. Anthony Spade is another MGTOW guy. The title of this video is Message to Anthony Spade. This isn't good for the manosphere. And hey, you know what? What isn't good for the manosphere is great for me. So let's see what drama's going on in the manosphere.
Hi, Red Pill Guy here, back with another video, and this message is to...
That's interesting. Okay. Red Pill God. That's interesting. He has long nails, longer nails than me. I'm trying to get them longer because I'm not biting my nails anymore, and this is the longest I've gone without biting my nails in quite a while. But not only long nails, but paints them. That's interesting. I wouldn't think most MGTOW dudes would be into that. Interesting.
Anthony Spade. This is a video man to man. Oh yeah, by the way, YouTube is deleting your comments and censoring comments on my channel. I don't know entirely the reason. So it's not me blocking you. I don't have any beef with you, man. I just think that should stop for the sake of our fan base. I mean, I don't even really have a fan base, but the people who do watch me, they don't want to see us keep beefing, man. I don't think it's very alpha.
What is this beef over? Was there a previous video? Give me a sec. Let me see if I can find, you know, one that's explains the beef initially. Anthony Spade is a broken boy. Okay, so there's a video he did on him. I gotta follow this drama. So he did a video, Anthony Spade is a broken boy, that's 3 minutes long.
Hi guys, welcome back to the show, Red Pill God. The title of this episode is, Anthony Spade is a fat bitch.
And the next video, which we already watched at the beginning of, he's like, actually, Anthony, can we calm down?
He left 2 comments on my post, basically saying, oh, you can't be MGTOW painting your nails. All you do is...
Oh, it's about the nail painting! Yes! 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 I am here for this drama. So apparently, Anthony Spade, fellow MGTOW dude, is mad that Red Pill God has painted his nails, which who cares? People can do whatever they want with their own bodies as long as they're not hurting anyone.
Talk about women. But through further inspection, you scroll through his videos, majority of his videos say something about women or woman. All he does is talk about women.
But so do you. What? Red Pill God. All of your videos. Let's take a look. Let's take a... Kamala Harris is using Chadwick Boseman's death to push her campaign. That's more political. I'll give you that one. Man punches 2 women in the face. That's about women. Feminist woman cries because men are stronger. That's about a woman. That's not about women, I don't think. Doon, doon, doon. Why I Go Dutch. That's about women because it's about splitting the bill on a date. This one's about a woman. A man is obliged to provide for his baby mama's kids. That's about women. TikTok girl gets train ran on her. That's about a woman. Ghetto slut lets dog dry hump her. That's about a woman. Dude, all your videos are about women too. What a weird criticism.
Continue this way. And how can he tell me that I can't be MGTOW when his channel literally says, my channel is dedicated to motivating men and women become better people before trying to date. MGTOW men don't date, you fat fuck. You potato head motherfucker. what
I'm so here for this. Please eat each other.
MGTOW is when you can't even be MGTOW. This is why people think MGTOW is some kind of cult or some kind of movement. MGTOW is individual to each man. Each man goes his own way, decides what he wants to do with his life. Not follow some set rules that your fat fuck ass decide to come up with. This is a broke boy. He just used YouTube as a hustle. I promise you I make more money than this dude. You dumb
I wish I had a bag of popcorn during this.
headed, toe-headed motherfucker.
Wow, this is vicious.
I got more businesses than this dude could ever think of. I got 4 businesses that I can name at the top of my head that I'm making money from right now. He's using YouTube as his only form of income. He's a broke boy. In one video, just one video alone, like 50 different times, he has this animation at the bottom begging for PayPal, begging for you to donate. And he has 2 PayPals for you to donate. He's a broke fat fuck. He doesn't even reply to all of the comments on his video. But he has the time to comment on a guy's video with only 300 subs. He has 57,000 subs. Is he afraid that I'm going to steal the spotlight? He's jealous of me.
I'm not subscriber shaming, but like, he's like, are you afraid I'm going to steal the spotlight from you? You only have 370 subscribers, which, hey, I'm sure you worked hard for every single one, but I don't know if that's the avenue of attack you want to go on.
He's fat, ugly, broke, and...
Oh, making fun of other people's looks. When someone makes fun of the way you look, like he's making fun of the fact that you paint your nails, which is nobody's business but your own. If it makes you feel good about yourself, that's awesome, you should do it. The response should not be to then make fun of his looks. If you're going to respond at all, you should be like, I can do what I want with my life. It's not very nice of you to do that. That's not cool. Not to do the same in return.
I'm jealous of a young buck, the young tender age of 24, already more successful than he ever will be, than he can ever imagine. You talking about being better before you dating? How about you lose some weight, you fat fuck? How about you lose the man boobs, you fat fuck? You half black, half retarded fat fuck.
Holy crap. I'm gonna report this. Like, come on, dude, really? Bullying. Two minutes, 19 seconds. Here's a link if you want to report this too. After this, we can go look at the other dude's channel to see if he also bullies him, in which case we can also report that. Just saying.
Half black, half retarded fat fuck? What about that? Lose some weight before you decide to start dating. What about that? You just spewing nonsense on your channel. And the sad thing is, the reason why I know about this is because at one moment I was subbed to you. I was subscribed. But since you want to be a bitch ass nigga and comment on a video that I didn't even ask you. Nigga, I didn't even ask you, and you trying to give me your opinion for what? You think I give a fuck what you think? You an introvert, huh? But you coming on my channel trying to get me to notice you. Notice me, senpai. I'm a fat fuck and I crave your attention even though you only have 300 subscribers.
This is like some angry stuff right here. Let me go find the other guy's channel real quick. We've looked at him before. He's the guy who talks about like being a Sigma male. Let's see if he made a video. When was this? August 30th, so it's got to be recent. I don't see any videos that he's done in return, so that's good. At least he's not making videos picking on this dude. Yikes. So let's see what his follow-up is. We started it already, but I'll restart it.
Back with another video, and this message is to Anthony Spade. This is a video man to man. Oh yeah, by the way, YouTube is deleting your comments and censoring comments on my channel.
There's nothing funny about the tools.
Cotton Candy 903 says he doesn't care, proceeds to make 2-minute video complaining about it. Yeah.
I don't know entirely the reason. So it's not me blocking you. I don't have any beef with you, man.
We just watched a video that's nothing but salt. The saltiest beef. It's like, come on, what? Oops.
I just think that should stop for the sake of our fan base. I mean, I don't even really have a fan base, but the people who do watch me, they don't want to see us keep beefing, man. I don't think it's very alpha to...
The change in tone from the last video to this one is just insane. Did something happen? Did, like, a bunch of people brigade this channel because of it? Now he's trying to, like, apologize? Because, like, if he was really sorry, it feels like he would have deleted the previous video, but he hasn't, so...
Continue this way. And I know you say you're a Sigma male, but to be Sigma, you have to be Alpha first, man. And what you're showing some of your supporters, because some of your supporters support me, what you're showing them is that you aren't controlling your emotions right now. It's not a good look. We shouldn't be beefing, man. We should come together. My goal in this world is to enlighten people. It's to change the world for the better. I don't want to leave a legacy behind to say that I'm beefing with some dude. I understand you don't like my nails, man. I get it. Trust me, I get it. I understand that you do not like my nails, that you do not approve of my nails. I get that, man. But you have to understand as well that my nails are just something I do for myself. It's not for any guy's approval. I'm not gay or anything like that. So I don't look to other men for approval. And you know, keep attacking and beating down a small YouTuber. Good thing that I have thick skin, man. Because if I really looked up to you,
Yes, the previous video in which you rant for 2 minutes and call him all sorts of insults definitely told me you have a thick skin.
Really seeing you as a role model, you crush my spirit. It's not good to continue this way. As you all know, at first...
MGTOW people. Women are irrational emotional beings. Also MGTOW people. Angry internet beef about someone's nails. The hypocrisy. I cannot believe it. Women are so irrational. Oh my god, that guy painted his nails. Let's start internet beef over it.
Started with, you ain't MGTOW and there will be complaining about women painting your nails. You were sent your own way. And then I responded with a video because I was so surprised that a person with like 60,000 subs would even come at me that way. And I subbed to him, and I told my brother to sub to him because I want to build a MGTOW. I sub to everyone who's MGTOW. I sub to everyone who's red pill. I like sticking together. That's what it's all about.
YouTube beauty community ain't got nothing on this
I stepped outside of
tea.
myself because it was just so... It was just so shocking.
Did you guys see, by the way, speaking of like beauty YouTube, did you see Nail Logical is having some kind of awful allergic reaction to makeup? Oh my god, it's so sad. I hope they figure... I don't even think they know what's wrong yet. Nail Logical. Nail Logical, who does really, really great videos. She does nail stuff mostly, but like she's done other stuff too. And yeah, she like is having issues where she's putting makeup on and it's causing what looks like a severe allergic reaction, but like antihistamines aren't helping, so it's not behaving like it's allergic. Oh, did they figure it out? Because I thought this was new. Baja was showing me this. Jeez.
That, you know, I didn't even think that you even watch my videos. I had no clue. And then so after I made that video, came to your comments. I guess you also complain about women while getting your nails done, but you can't see your little ones though. Shout out to your ex. And you was replying to someone who was sub to me, talking about he can't see his kids. I don't think that's very decent, man. Like, I don't think it's right to tell the man they can't see his kids. That's what we're against. We want men to be able to see their kids. We shouldn't have this beast this beef in the manosphere.
Like, this is the video he should have put out first. He shouldn't have done the angry video where he insults the guy and calls him a bunch of really not cool words. He should have just been like, hey man, this isn't cool. That's an adult way to deal with it.
We shouldn't indulge in ignorance, or we shouldn't indulge in being, you know, mean to one another. That's not right. Those very hurtful words.
You know what sucks? Baja's allergic to some stuff. She's allergic to artificial strawberry. She's also allergic to Benadryl. I'm not even kidding. Really, really sucks.
First, man. Take care of those nails too. Yeah. I'm glad you unsubscribed. Thanks for watching. I bet you won't say it to my face. Look, man. I get it. You're still emotional. I get it. But as alphas, we can't allow emotion to control us. As alphas, we gotta be leaders for the rest of the community. As alphas, we gotta help other men become alphas. We can't continue down this path, man. I don't want to be beefing with you forever, man. We should just call it truths. And then after that, you know, YouTube delete your comments like usual. I don't know why they're censoring you. I'm not sure why. But I ignored it and I continue, and then you start coming in on my other posts. Stop crying about women, nail boy. Why you block me? I'm just getting started. You still complaining about women while doing your nails. Shaking my head. I'm not complaining about women, man. I'm just trying to wake men up. I'm just trying to enlighten man. I'm just trying to set an example.
This video doesn't have a lot of alpha energy. Can I point that out? Alpha beta doesn't exist, but if it did, this isn't it.
I'm gonna change the world. And, you know, trying to deter me from that path, my purpose, it's just not going to happen. I don't want other men to be turned away from the manosphere because they see petty beef, man. It's not good. It's not healthy. That's not what men do.
I mean, it is, though. Cotton Candy 903 with a bit. I'm allergic to penicillin and its relatives like amoxicillin. That sucks.
Now, let me show you
have
some
one of those
comments
life alert
from
things,
some of the
so if you go to a hospital and you get in an accident, they know?
Yes, man. For some of the subscribers. For some of the young guys who watch this content. Now, this is one of your supporters, man. I don't know why he is targeting young, up-and-coming content creators. But I thought that as Red Pill guys, we take care of each other. Because it's
toxicity in the MGTOW community. Well, I thought our toxicity was supposed to be pointed at women, not each other.
So don't be that type of dude. You see? And read another comment. I don't understand why he started this. He was like a role model to me. He should say some advice instead of insulting you. You see? These people are also your subs. It's not good to continue this path. It's not good. Why fuss with him, but he tripping for that though. Shaking my head. To be alpha is to have control over your life, having self-confidence in yourself, and doing you. LOL. Nothing to do with if you paint your nails or not. I'm Sigma, LOL, and believe me, that's not what Sigmas do. LOL at all. That's childish. I don't give a rat's ass what the fuck a nigga doing with anything on his body. What the fuck? You see? It doesn't make sense. These people were your supporters, but they see that you're
Sigma. They think that Sigma male is even more powerful than alpha male. If you didn't see my video on that a while back.
Super emotional. They see that you keep commenting on my posts without anything positive to say. And like I said, YouTube keep deleting it. I don't know what it is. I don't know. YouTube see you as spam, but it keeps deleting your comments. They see you doing these things. They see you attacking someone who's just trying to spread knowledge. I just want to give my wisdom. I just want to change the world.
Oh, that's sadly revealing.
I mean, like I said, you don't have to agree with my nails. I get that. But I'm paying my own nails. I'm not paying your nails. I'm not paying anyone else's nails. It's just a preference. It's just a style. It's just fashion.
I think he's deleting the comments too. He said the same thing like when like we commented on some of his videos that like, oh, I'm not deleting your comments. It's YouTube, but I've been on YouTube for 8 years. Not including just my Hannah Reloaded channel, which you can find here in the chat if you want to check it out. Hold on. But on the Hannah and Jake channel, we've been on YouTube for like 8 years or something like that, and I've never had that problem. So I don't know why he thinks YouTube is deleting comments. Like, I've not experienced that.
But I'm going to do that in peace while I still spread knowledge. I'm not trying to force anyone else to do it. We can always have a discussion, man to man. You can come on my show, or I can come on your show, man to man. We can have a talk. We shouldn't keep doing this. Because going this route, keep doing this, it discredits everything on your channel. It discredits all of your videos. It discredits you calling yourself a Sigma. Because right now you're acting like a woman right now. That's what women do.
Oh,
I don't want to see.
Oh, really? Come on. Again, I'll repeat the joke I made earlier. Come on. We aren't supposed to be toxic toward each other. We're supposed to be toxic toward women.
You crumble within the manosphere. I wish success. Nothing but success. If you're really Sigma, you're really part of the manosphere, and you're really an alpha, like how you say you are, then I wish you nothing but success. We gotta work together. Anyway, guys. Anyway, man. If you wanna set something up, you can always hit me. Or you have any questions or concerns, man. I'm open to talk, to have a civilized man-to-man conversation. The Red Pill Guide at gmail.com. Because most likely YouTube is gonna delete your comments. And I can't, even if I wanted to, I can't respond to comments that keep getting deleted and censored by YouTube. And to the rest of my subs, thank you for subscribing to me. I promise in the future, I won't let ignorance, I won't let...
Oh boy, this poor guy. Red Pill God guy, I think still has a chance to turn his life around and let go of all this Red Pill MGTOW nonsense, but I'm not super hopeful. Captain Seculoid with 100 bits, how many alphas do I have to devour to become a Sigma? I don't know, 69. Is there anyone else I want to deal with today? I like doing Sandman, but whenever I do, people leave because how annoying his voice is, so I won't subject you to that today. What else? Does anyone have any videos you want me to look at that fall into, like, the MGTOW incel type thing? The Elliot one? What Elliot one? Oh, you'd have to send it again. Because I used that tab to search something. Okay. We'll do another Elliot, that's fine. Elliot's been gone for a while, so doing a second Elliot video is okay. This might be the last one before I log off for the night.
I got a question today from a young man who says, yo, Elliot, how can I be more dominant as a man and more respected? And so what I'd like to do with this question is refer to a great book, a book that I think all men should read, called The Way of Man by Jack Donovan. And by the way, I do think that men need to learn how to be men. There are a lot of people that say, oh, well, you should just know how to be a man, but that's never been
Hey, do you identify as a man? Congratulations. The way you act is acting like a man. You did it. Congratulations.
In the case, our ancestors understood that a man, a boy becoming a man, needs to be, two things need to happen. He needs to be separated from his mother, very critical, get out of your mama's house. And number two, he needs to atone with his father, meaning getting to know the world of men, getting to know what it means to be a man. There's always been a meaning attributed to masculinity. Today, it usually comes from media, pop culture, music, movies, and other bullshit like that. But in the past, it was always related to fathers, grandfathers, ancestors, and ultimately the Father, God. So today, where we lack a lot of that, I think it's a good idea that men read manly books, remain in, and The Way of Man is a good one. I also have another one here with me right now. Hard time.
Hold on, one sec. Open plan prison. Thanks for the 10 bits. And then Captain Seculoid clipped something. Bits, how many alphas do I have to devour to become a Sigma? I don't know. 69. Bits, how many alphas do I...
Create Strong Men by Stephen Arnio, another great book. So read up on this stuff, men. It's important. Now, back to your question about how to be more dominant and respected as a man. So one of the things that Jack Donovan describes in his book is that men are best at two things. There are two things that men really do well, that we're designed to do, that we're made to do, that society wouldn't thrive, wouldn't survive if men didn't do these things. Number one, men protect the border. If there were...
What? 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 What?
For no men to protect the perimeter, I think he says, protect the perimeter, there would be no safe space. You know, we got all these safe spaces today. Safe space.
Hey, Elliot, who's attacking the space that requires people to protect it? Is it a bunch of feral women banging at the gates going, "Let us in, we'll eat your babies"? Because it seems to me that you want to take credit for men to protect, but you don't want to say all men are responsible for men who commit acts that require protection from. You can't have it both ways, right? I don't think it makes sense to gender that in any case. Just seems kind of weird and arbitrary and a way to self-aggrandize, even though you yourself are not actively participating in any sort of way of protecting people, just by the value of, like, having a penis, you're automatically in-grouped with the kind of people who are protecting society. That's ridiculous.
For women and children. When we live, operate, and deal with each other on our most primordial levels, women remain inside where they create life.
What the fuck, dude? Is it 1874? No. What are you talking about? There are women in the military, too, so that I don't even understand what you mean. There are women police officers. Like, there are women drone pilots. There are women in all sorts of awful fields that I disagree with that you would consider protectionist or whatever. Like, what?
Life, grow a future for society, and men stay on the outside, work on the outside, where we protect from invading tribes, from...
Please, explain to me what invading tribe is going to bring harm to you, and please do so in such a way that isn't really, really racist. I'd love to hear it.
Ravenous beasts, and anything that will come in and threaten, right? And then the other thing that we do is we provide, meaning expand. So if you've got the perimeter, we'll protect the perimeter, but then conquest. Let's get out there and get what's going on over there. Let's.
Okay, so you're hurting other people in their borders, is what you're saying. We protect our own, and then we go out and harm others. Woo! Men. What? No! If you didn't do the latter, you wouldn't need the former, you idiot.
Broaden our area. Let's make our area bigger. Sometimes let's take what those guys got over there and bring.
Okay, so you're literally advocating for the thing that causes you to have to protect. Do you not understand what an asshole this makes you? My God.
Bring them into our world, or take their stuff, or move into a territory where there's more opportunity for food. You see what I'm saying? So the one thing is to protect, the other one is to move out.
Okay, but you're not really protecting if you're going out and harming other people to take their stuff. All you're doing is protecting your in-group while harming others. One negates the other in terms of morality. You get that, right? And also, it's not 50,000 BC. This isn't how the world functions. So why are you talking about it like it's relevant to people alive today? But Hannah, it's only okay when we do it. I guess so.
Conquer. And so you asked me this question about what it takes to be more of a dominant and respected man. I would start with the respect part. You know, being dominant, you know, I think that'll come as a byproduct of being a respectful man. And Jack goes on in his book and he talks about how men became men in those days when protecting and providing were critical. And you had to know that the guy that was by your side was trustworthy. To be respected is to be trustworthy, because it was a matter of life or death out there, right? You got to know that the guy that's next to you can carry his weight, right? If we're out here and protecting the borders, and this guy,
Antipodian Squid with 100 bits. I wonder how he would feel about the history of ancestry, which includes accepted and valued sister girls and brother boys, where people didn't identify as their gender at birth live and choose as they chose, and fuck gender roles, and it goes back thousands of years. I don't know what you're talking about. I've not heard of this.
Last time he said he was going to do something, he fell asleep. That means he's not a trustworthy man, does not gain respect, does not do...
I don't know why he's talking about this at all. Like, this is not relevant to how you should direct your life as anyone today. What does this have to do with anything?
What he says he's going to do, and therefore, we'll never be dominant. We'll never be powerful. We'll never be trusted or looked upon as somebody worth being a leader, or even worth being on the front lines. He goes on in his book, interesting, he talks about effeminate men in the book, or men that are effeminate, sissy-like, pansies, girly men. And he says that a big part of the reason why it's just innate to sort of cringe at girly men, even today,
is because you're fragile and can't consider that people should be allowed to be whoever they are because it isn't 50,000 BC and you don't live in a tribe where you're getting like, I'm hunting the saber tooth. Dude, grow the fuck up. Grow up.
Is because inside we kind of know that this guy is not trustworthy because of...
Why? What does someone who's not living up to your standards of masculinity have to do with trustworthiness? What are you talking about? The implication that manly men are somehow innately more trustworthy than people who don't fall into that stereotype is foundless and absurd.
Girly man's not going to act like a man on the front line. So if they could sniff out any sense of sissiness, you immediately was not trustworthy.
Basically, he's trying to justify bullying people who don't fall into his idea of masculinity. Not gonna work, bud. If you're a bully, you're a bully. Stop being an asshole and judging other people for not being like you.
I don't want this guy next to me, right? I don't want him to be fighting side by side with me because he can allow his effeminacy to take over and run. Right?
Because no woman has ever fought in combat ever. It's almost like Elliot's an idiot.
He can run. He can go cry to mommy. He's much better off staying at home in the inner circle with the ladies braiding hair or something like that. So my point is, and what Jack's point is in that book, is that to be a respected man is to be a trustworthy man, and to be a trustworthy man is to be a man that does what he says he's going to do, follows through, is somebody who acts like a man, who can provide and protect, who can stand side to side with me and get what needs to get done, and there'd be no question about it. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by freaking text messages. Part of the problem with filming on my iPad. So, being respected as a man really boils down to being trustworthy.
Okay, but trustworthiness has nothing to do with manliness. You can be trustworthy and not be your stereotypical manly man. You understand that? The two are not intrinsically linked.
Being capable of carrying your weight. Nobody wants to be around somebody that can't carry their weight.
Like, for instance, my dad. My dad, I think, puts a lot of effort into trying to appear like, I'm a man, I'm blah, 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 blah. I drive a truck and live in the country and smoke cigars. This is like his entire personality. But he's like a huge liar. He's a manipulator, right? Being manly has nothing to do with being trustworthy.
Someone who's...
Cotton Candy 903 with a bit. Sometimes wonder how these guys would react if they knew women like Boudica exist in history. I don't even know who that is, so I'm not even familiar.
Gonna whine and cry or disappear when things get tough. To be respected as a man is to be a manly man. A man that's not...
No. What? Show the link. If you're gonna link manliness to trustworthiness, you need to demonstrate a link. Not just claim one exists.
Sissy out when going gets tough. So, and then protecting and providing. In its most primordial sense, which is protect the perimeter and expand the territory.
Okay, do you understand? Again, does he not understand the inherent contradiction between the 2 points he's pointing out? You want to protect, but you also want to hurt others by expanding. You are the problem. Do you not see that? God, I wish people like this would just stop. I really hope this is the death knells of idiots like this. Because, my God, it is an outdated worldview.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Boudica was a queen in ancient Britain, fought against the Romans? Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
Throw this one last thing in there. Ruffle little feathers. Stir the pot up a little bit. Rock the boat. Because a lot of people might not like what I'm about to say. But manly men are what created society. All society.
Yes. Clearly, there were no women or effeminate men in society ever. As we all know, the founding fathers of the United States, in their powdered wigs
nothing funny about the tools
and makeup and frilly shirts, the manliest of men.
Civilizations, all the great things come from manly men who protect.
Curious what you would do if Tate ever noticed you making all these comments on his vids because he scares the hell out of me. What's he gonna do? What's Tate gonna do? Seriously. Is he gonna fly to the United States from wherever he is and find me? Okay, that's assault. If I turn up dead and it's mysterious, go ahead. Have someone investigate Tate. See what happens. But I don't think Tate, who has far less money than he puts on, is going to waste money to come here, where I live. My address isn't online anywhere, by the way, so I don't even know how he would find me. But let's say he did. Is he really going to waste the money to come here, rent a car, drive to my house, and commit assault? I doubt it. Ask Compu with a bit. Hold on. You can help by expanding. It's like a meme because of the Wikipedia thing. I've not heard that
There's
meme.
nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
And then
Stephen J. Neptune Man with 25 bits. Tate ever heard of Queen Elizabeth? This isn't Tate, guys. You know that, right? Like, this is not Tate. Why is everyone mentioning Tate right now? This is Elliot
Nothing funny
Hulse.
about the tools of capitalism.
Not just any car. He'd have to hire a Lamborghini. True.
conquer. And so I've noticed that in our effeminate culture, now that things are easy, they say that weak times create weak men. Well, it's easy times create weak men. Yeah, it's easy times, so men don't need to be strong anymore. So they can come up with all kinds of...
Or, how about this, Elliot? Modern society has existed for a very long time, right? Like, I'm talking post-industrial. And the age of the big, strong, manly man who does nothing but protect from raiders while alternatively going out to raid other people has been an outdated modality for centuries, and it's not needed or wanted. So maybe update yourself and realize that that's not even an ideal way for the world to function, and that we've moved past it.
About the tools of capitalism.
Antipodian Squid with 100 bits. I also was wondering why people were mentioning Tate, so have bits. Yeah. Ask Compy with a bit. Can we start calling Tate Tater Tot? You can. I'm not gonna do that.
Ideas that are complete, they're superfluous, they're bullshit ideas. They're ideas that don't fly in reality. They just sound nice, right? And so one of these ideas is that here in America, Europeans stole America from the natives that was here.
Yeah?
That's a wrong way of thinking about it. If you're
oh God, oh no,
an American man, especially a European man, one of the most hated men in this country. But
he's gonna do. We got it rightfully by conquest. No, no, Elliot, please, no, don't say that.
By the way, which I recognize even as a mixed Negroid.
Oh.
This country wasn't stolen from anybody, it was conquered.
Yeah, that's worse. You get that's worse, right? Going into someone else's country and systematically genociding them while taking their land, that's worse. Stealing implies like, oh ho, they were out and we, stole it while they were gone. Nope. We systematically wiped out an entire, continent of people. That's so much worse. It's so much worse.
Because that's what men do. The stronger man conquers. The stronger, smarter, more dominant men.
Oh, fucking yikes. Racist, too.
Conquer, right? So it just, instead of, putting victim roles on people, ooh, it was stolen, look at it like a fucking man. No, the country was conquered, not stolen, taken over by the stronger, smarter, more dominant people.
Dude, fuck off with this shit. This is disgusting.
And so with that, I offer you to have a sense of dignity and pride in your country.
Gross.
But anyway, that's an aside. That's not the point of this video. The point of this video is to be a man in this sissified fucking world. Tough thing to do.
Holy shit, this dude's a piece of fucking trash. Asshole. Anyway, we've been going for 3 hours, 40 minutes. That's gonna be it. Tomorrow, we'll be back for Tinfoil Tuesday. It'll be a lot of fun. I'm not sure. Oh god, I started typing in tin when I wanted Twitch to see if there's anyone I was gonna write. Who's streaming right now? Doo-doo-doo-doo. Is there anyone that I haven't really rated before that I want to? Bad Bunny. I've rated her twice in the past, week or so, though, and I don't want to be weird. I feel like it's weird if you're just constantly rating the same person. Is there a D&D game that looks like fun? Let me see. 8, 10, 172. Doing the Curse of Strahd. What do you guys think?
That's right, capitalistic propaganda.
Lib posting? I'm not familiar. Lib posting. Oh, you mean live posting? Let me see. I'm not familiar with this channel. After this ad. God, this is a long ad. They really want you to buy Bud Light Seltzer.
About the QAnon or anything related to QAnon stuff. If you have somebody that's into that stuff, the
Does
best thing you
QAnon end with the Jewish cabal? The more extreme QAnon people are
I do
explicitly
follow
anti-Semitic,
live posting,
yes,
apparently.
They stop saying that it's simply like George Soros.
Weird.
And say that it is like a Jewish conspiracy or whatever. And you can see how it's very easy to lead into that.
Yeah, sure. We'll raid live posting. So thanks, everyone. I really appreciate, you know, live posting. Sorry, I have trouble typing, and this is at the same time. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Come back tomorrow for Tinfoil Tuesday. It'll be a lot of fun. I'll be doing conspiracy debunks. Embedded Canines, thank you for following. I missed your follow. Yeah, chat is valid. Have a good night, everyone.